has been started. I'm going to do a little... Oh, don't tell me I lost that tweet. There we are. Let's do a little tweet. Here comes Catherine, coming round the bend. Here comes Catherine, doing my head in again. We see her name, we don't see her face. We don't see her stinky bum.
Sausage soup.
Hey, you got the sausage soup, baby.
Ah.
Hello, everybody. Can I just get a level from you, Catherine? Please talk to me. Describe that soup.
Sausage soup.
It's sausage soup. Good. Welcome, everybody, to the show. How is... can you just tell people watching this... Catherine, I hate to warn you, but there's someone behind you with their hand in the air. Is the stream okay? And I'll tell you why I asked that question. Because after this stream tonight... I might stay up and play a little bit of Team Fortress 2 on the stream.
You have to be up early in the morning.
I've got to be up early in the morning, do what I want. So I'm downloading a rather big video game. So if the stream gets glitchy, let me know and I'll stop downloading the video game. But it looks like we might be okay. Nina's in the room. How lovely, Nina. Mad Sainty, JKRXR, Metella, Zerma, thank you for those wonderful, wonderful subs. It's lovely to see you. You're such a lovely audience. We'd like to take you home with us, but there's absolutely zero chance of that happening because you all stink.
It stinks here as well.
It stinks here. Can
There's
I tell you a
some
very...
nervous wheeze going on? Not by me, by Yoko.
I haven't seen Big Boy since Wednesday of last week. But I have it on good authority. Thank you, Tommy, for the sub. Tommy, thank you for the sub. Did I say thank you, Tom? Yeah. I have it on good authority from Betty next door. She saw him within the last 2 days.
Did she, though, or was it Bigger Boy?
Well, Bigger Boy's not been around for a while. So I believe it's Big Boy. But I haven't seen him. He's the one I'm not worried about. Tomorrow, yes, I will climb over my fence, climb up the little hill and walk along the train track. Hello?
Is he back?
Walk along the train track. Shaking a bowl of food. And, big boy! I call it the walk of death. And it's one of the fun things of being a cat owner is walking along a train track looking for cat corpses. Thank you, Zero. Thank you, Super Saint. Skater says, on the subject of leaving work in the media industry and mental health, I remember tuning into BBC News at 3 a.m. and I swear the presenter was off his mind on some kind of upper/drug. So yeah, that thought just popped into my mind when reading the title. Holy jackamole.
What?
Good evening, Lonely God. I would like to see that footage.
Upper/drugs?
Yeah, I want upper/drugs. We'll talk about me drinking booze in Paris in a bit. So there is no sign of Big Boy, and I'm not worried about him. He of all the cats in all the world, he's the one that can look after himself. You're getting evils, Catherine. She hates you tonight. What have you done to her?
She loves me, look.
Little pudding, look at that. You little pudding.
She's just got one of those resting faces. She's actually quite a jolly person.
Wonder where she gets that from. From her mum. You. Why am I peeking? Let me just go down a little bit because I'm peeking a little. If I go to there, that's better. Hello. So there's no sign of Big Boy. The other cats are fine. I'm going over to Betty's tomorrow for a cup of tea. So I might pop into Risborough and buy a bit of cake. Take a bit of cake over there.
Ooh, nice.
You know the cake, like the brown cake in a brick shape that's stodgy and sticky?
A brownie?
No, like a big, no, not a brownie. It's like made with, it's Pat Pats. Made with like syrup, a syrup cake.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen one described quite in such a way, but I believe
is that what it's called? A syrup cake? Ginger cake. Thank you, Harsh. Ginger cake. You might buy a ginger cake.
Oh, like one of those Jamaica ginger cakes that
Jamaica ginger cake? No, she made it on her own free will. I'm not taking a Soreen. Rob, thank you for the sub. I'm not going to take a Soreen.
But not
I love a Soreen.
Like...
You don't take a Soreen next door. Linny, thank you for the sub.
That's a business cake. That's not a fun cake.
No. Golden syrup cake, yummy. This is Michelle Mabel. So this is what freedom looks like. Flipping love it. Matty, first of all, I've got to thank Matty because, and I'm going to tweet this. I've been tweeting so many things. I'm going to tweet this at some point. Matty is responsible for keeping not only mine, but Catherine's back catalogue out there. If you go to the Iain Lee vault, pretty much everything I've ever done that exists audio-wise is there, and it's because of Matty. And I've also uploaded a video today of the final radio show. And we've also put out 2 podcasts. The free podcast is the final radio show without the music. If you're a Patreon, you've got the final radio show with the music. And I think the music is relevant. I think I only played 2 of their crappy songs because I wasn't quite sure how far I could push it. And then I realised, I could do
what they're going to do.
Yeah. But so if you're a Patreon, and we've got a load of new Patreons, thank you for that. That you get the full show with the music. I will at some point, once the video excitement has died off, I will be uploading, or I've uploaded it, I will make public the full show with the music video. Matty did all the editing. And he matched up the audio, he tidied it all up, he cut out the music for the versions without the music. So Matty, thank you for that. That's my thanks there. Marcus, thank you very much for the sub. Yeah, there was good music. That Bare Naked Ladies song, I've played that a few times when I've felt that I was going to be leaving. It really is, gets you there, right? Gets you there. It was some show yesterday. So, and I will... Because I suspect, I don't know what the numbers are. I suspect the numbers will be quite good tonight. And I suspect we will be getting some people, there are probably some journos watching. Hello, you're welcome. And there'll be people who haven't looked at anything I've done for years. People, casual people and randos. So I am, Catherine, if it's all right with you, because this is our show,
Yeah,
I am very happy.
There?
Sorry?
That's my children, bearing in mind that we're on stream. Flushing the toilet.
If anybody, is it okay with you if anybody asks any questions about me leaving radio throughout the evening? Are you cool if I spend a little bit of time answering those questions?
No.
Okay,
yes.
Well then that's that, guys. We're not talking about it, so you can ask me anything about it, and I will be as honest as I can. I will be slightly more honest about my experience at Jack when we go behind the paywall next week, but I will say it was not a great atmosphere there. One member, I'll tell you this. So it was weird doing the show. My boss had come in because obviously he didn't want me to do a Danny Baker, and I get that. And Selfie came in, who does a show at the weekend, came in just to say goodbye, which I thought was very nice. But when I came out of the studio, I was in tears. I just wanted to go. And there was my boss, there was Joe, there was Nia, and there was Selfie. There was also a member of sales. So as I walked out, she walked into the kitchen and did not come out of the kitchen for the 5 minutes that I was there. Couldn't even say goodbye. William, thank you for the gifting sub. Couldn't even say goodbye. Never liked me. Couldn't even say goodbye. And I thought, well, isn't that mature? I won't miss. Put your bum down, you silly girl.
Maybe she was overwhelmed with emotion that you were going.
No, there was no leaving card. Oh gosh. That was anonymous. I wonder who that was. Let me just close Skype. Let me just close Skype.
If you're just joining us after, I don't know, being away for a while. Yeah, anonymous is still the same.
1 second. Let me just deal with this. Hang on. Hello?
Hello, Ian.
Yeah, we're not talking to you. You're a knob.
Why?
There we go. That's that close. You couldn't hear that, Catherine. You went, hello, Ian. Not talking to you, you're a knob. Why? Well, because...
You could hear it tiny, tiny bits, but
so
I knew the vibe.
Yeah, couldn't even come and say goodbye. That was the vibe that I was dealing with on a daily basis. You probably didn't even hear that. You may not have even heard that yourself. What was going on? I was dealing with that on a daily basis. So it wasn't a great vibe. Wasn't a great vibe. Ian, how did you cope with listening to the same 6 or 7 songs day after day? I've heard Stacey's mom enough.
Apparently she's got it going on. I've heard this rumour.
I like that song. And I never want to hear that song ever again.
Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, why is this? Sorry, I don't quite know how to close Skype. Yes?
Ian, I genuinely want to be nice.
I don't want to talk to you. You're an obnoxious
Please
person.
talk to me, Ian. Please.
No.
I just genuinely want to be nice.
No, you don't. You don't even get the decency of me telling you that I don't want to talk to you. So goodbye.
You know, you don't actually have to speak to him anymore.
No, I'm exactly.
In any way.
I don't know how to close Skype.
So it would appear. Was he?
Hold the line, please, caller. While I try and close. How do I close Skype? Surely the X would just close it, right? You'd think the X would just close it, right? I'm not talking to him anymore. Oh, Jesus. You would think the X would just close it, wouldn't it? No, the X isn't closing it. All right. Does anyone know how I... Hello, McPauls.
Are you having technicals?
I'm having technicals. He's calling on 2 lines.
Oh, he's not bothered, though. He's not bothered.
How do I... Could someone please tell me, how do I close Skype? You need to right-click on the icon on the taskbar. The Skype icon isn't... Oh, there it is. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. It's Stacey's mom. She wants to chat.
Stacey's mom.
Stacey, who is that horrible woman who phoned up and called you a bully? Oh, that
yeah.
was it. Everyone thought it was you, Catherine, doing a voice.
Yes, I don't know why you would think it was me, but it was not me on that occasion.
It was does anyone know the timestamp of that? Because we'll play that. That was an hilarious call.
I'm sure she's rung before once and it did not go well for her.
Will remembered. Well, you know, I don't remember the calls. Will remembered her for calling in before. But no, she was a real person. I loved it.
A real meanie.
I loved it. If anyone knows the timestamp, we'll play that because it was something very, very special. Gatford saying 7:40-ish. Oh, come on, mate. Come on, mate.
It was before I took Biggin to school.
All right, hang on a minute. Let me just see if I can find it. So go to YouTube. Iain Lee's last ever show. Stacey. I did what you said. It still won't stop. I did what you said.
It just will not die.
Katie, I did what you said, and it still didn't work. You're right. I know what you can do.
Pull the plug out.
Sign out. We sign out from it. There we go. Thank you for the sign out. Thank you. Okay, Matty knows everything. So Matty's found it, I think.
I bet Matty.
Shame you didn't sort out that.
Let me just... okay, hang on a second. Let me just share the screen. We'll have that call. So I've got to do Zoom screen. Gonna do that. I'm gonna make you bigger.
And bigger still, please.
Thank you. We're gonna do this. So I think this should be the timestamp for the call. Here we go. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
My name is Mariana.
I can't
Yes?
hear it, but that doesn't matter.
Oh, can you not hear it? Oh, sorry. Hang on. Share sound. I can't really do it so you can see. Oh, actually, I can do this, and I can do this. There you go. You can see the fun. Here we go. Let's go back a little bit. How lovely for Will to come in.
Yes.
That was his idea. He said, would you like me to come in? I said, please.
How are
He's
you?
such a sweet
Did you say good morning, Ian, twice?
I did. How bizarre. I don't know why I did it. Fortunately not.
I saw an advert for a tack assignment. We got, hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
My name is Mariana.
Yes?
He spoke to her before, I think.
Is this Ian?
Yes, it's Ian. You're on the air. Yes, live.
I'm in the air. Wow.
Wowzers.
Ian.
I knew that, and that's when you know there's a run-up coming.
That's the run-up. She's
You
chalking
know
those
the run-up.
hands.
Oh,
I don't know what to say. I guess I'm going to say all the best in your future.
thank you.
And I was wondering how many of your colleagues are really happy
At least one.
of you leaving. Because sometimes
Will's pissing himself. I'm like, what the fudge?
in the air, I had this impression that you are a bit of a bully. Sorry.
Is this the sales lady doing a voice?
Anyway, love you, Ian. All the best in your future.
I was going to say that's the most passive aggressive call I've ever had, but it wasn't. It was just aggressive. There we go. Someone has pointed out that I've got the date wrong there, but I love it. And that, Catherine, that is what I hoped the show would be like from about week 3 or 4. That's what I was hoping the show would sound like.
Yeah.
And it didn't. Yeah, everyone thought it was you. I know. It was a real call.
A bit of a bully? No, I would not say that.
Elton McManus, I think she did say Happy New Year. That's what I hope the show would sound like. That to me is great radio. And everyone that called in yesterday, where the fudge were you for the last 8 months? Tina, you both got me and my severely depressed daughter who suffered from severe OCD trying to fight in vain for help with treatment. Thanks, Catherine and Ian. Gatford says, I love the call who said his favourite 2 shows were when Will was fired and you leaving.
Yes.
That's what I wanted the show to be like. If the show had been like that, if we'd have had that level of calls, that quality of calls, and we had some great calls, and first-time caller, Kirk, and there was a guy who phoned in like all the time, sometimes 3 or 4 times a show, was absolutely brilliant. He phoned in on the last show to say about how he shared bits of the show with his 13-year-old boy.
That was real, wasn't it?
That was absolutely real, and I love him so much. He came in on the open day. First
what
time
I thought
caller.
was beautiful was he sees his boy every Friday, and that's how they catch up with each other. What have you been doing this week? And the boy tells him about his week, and then he goes, right, well, here's some of my calls to Ian.
That got me. That was beautiful. And as Visionary points out, the call from Judy. Judy has been a regular caller and a big supporter of the show. She's very, very ill with cancer. And so we would have long periods where she wouldn't get in touch, but then she would send me an email or a text, or she called him. And she would talk about her boy who was autistic and wouldn't speak. For whatever reason, didn't speak. There we go. And he spoke. Isn't that?
Yeah.
He spoke.
That's what got me.
He spoke. Glitter Kitty, was he the same Brummy guy that used to phone Talk Radio with the Pornhub game? Oh, was he the Pornhub guy? I think he was, yeah. I think he was.
And I've heard someone that sounds a lot like him doing announcements on the telly.
Yeah, that call... I'm just going to blow my little something up my nose. Simon Le Bonbon! There he is, Simon Le Bonbon. That's him. You were the Pornhub guy, weren't you? Yes, Simon Le Bonbon. Honestly, mate, your calls... There was one that wasn't very funny, but that's out of like about 100 calls. No Pornhub stump. Your calls every day, and I know that you were texting in as well, because I could see the numbers, and your number ends 806 or something like that, and we'd get like 10 texts a day from you. Your calls made my job so much easier. Yeah. So much easier, and they were a real highlight of my day.
It was quite a lonely place at times, wasn't it? But for those phone calls,
it really, really was. Who was the caller you played during Dizzy by Vic Reeves? Oh, I don't remember. Wasn't that a pre-recorded bit? I can't remember. No, your calls have lifted it, and I also saw you in the chat encouraging people to call in. So thank you. The producers coming on was lovely, and I left that really last minute because the night before I thought, wonder if Eloise, shit, I wonder if Chris, oh my God, what about Byron? You know, and Byron is from 23 years ago. There's not many of you will have been aware of him, but it dawned on me, oh my God, he was actually my first ever producer. Let's get him on. And the Chris thing was really at the last minute because I was messaging him, and about 9:15 he got back in touch and said, oh, I'm working. I said, could you come on for like just 2 minutes? And it was so lovely having all of them on, Catherine coming on to complete the circle. It was lovely. I've been so blessed. It was a real reminder how lucky I've been with Will, with Catherine, with Eloise, with Byron, and with Agent Chris. How blessed I have been with such amazing producers, all different, all got different things to offer, all shaped me. Justice for Davis, you know, producers who shaped me and helped me grow and helped me develop my style, you know, my voice. So thank you, Catherine, for that. And it was so lovely. So, I haven't spoken to Chris for years. It turns out I saw Byron 10 years ago, but I don't remember it. Just lovely, you know. Barry from Watford, David Babcock coming on. Vinny, because again I was messaging Vinny and I wasn't sure he was going to come on. So when he called, it was like a yes, mate, yes, mate. The Vinny call got quite a few people, Gatford. That surprised and hit quite a few people, I know. And I couldn't have asked for a better show. Couldn't have asked for a better show. Very lucky. Maybe I should have done it more like Trev. Should have done it proper. You're right. You know, and how lucky I was to get that last show. I could feel the vibe was coming because somebody, no names, no pack drill, messaged me the day before and said, if you're not very happy, if you were offered the chance to come in and do your last show, would you do it? And I went, yes. And then a couple of hours later, the boss got in touch, said, how about tomorrow is your last show and it's a farewell to radio? I was like, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll do that. So very lucky to do that. And this morning, I woke up at 5:30 and I went, no, mate. Then I woke up at 9:30.
Oh, luxury.
And it was great. And my first full day as a counsellor, just a counsellor.
And what happened with your first client?
Huh?
What happened with your first
I'm
client?
not talking about any of that. That's confidential. Tobes is here. I wanted to pop by quickly say thank you for what you've done. You were and always will be a radio legend. So thank you, Catherine. Ain't too shabby. The producer Tobes, lovely to see you. Thank you for that. And Simon Le Bonbon says, surely some text to Jake asking him to do it like Ian didn't get read out today. Very, very lucky to have done my last show because they did not want me. Oh, hang on, Beastie Boy. How did you manage to get out without the lengthy notice period, says Tommy. I tweeted it when they didn't want me to tweet it. I agreed I would keep it quiet until sales knew. And then while I was away, I thought, I think someone said something that makes me think sales knew. So I texted my boss, do sales know? I don't know. I went, right, I'm going to tweet it. No, you agreed not to. I said, yeah, I agreed not to until sales knew. I think they know. I'm tweeting it. So that was how I got out of the lengthy notice. I was supposed to finish on April the 13th, but I took control. And I did it not to be mean. I did it because I didn't owe them anything anymore. I didn't owe them anything. And that's why I did that. Beastie Boys sent a long one. When I was going through severe depression, the crisis team told me to put the TV on or listen to something to help distract me from my negative thoughts. TLNA, that's us, was my place to go. I also looked for podcasts with you, Ian, and found you were on Book Shambles. Oh, yeah, Josie Long and Robin Ince. You mentioned you were on metazapine. It was the first time I didn't feel alone. Thankfully, I'm long recovered, but to this day, whenever you play Littlest Hobo, I get emotional for some reason. Thank you. And it was a great last show. I couldn't have asked for a better last show. But also, Catherine, I hope that you saw that in the wake of, and there were so many nice messages about me. I only saw 2 mean ones. The rest were nice. I hope you saw that in the wake of those, you were also getting a lot of love. I saw you like to tweet about someone who'd been going through cancer treatment.
Yeah, it wasn't because they've been going through treatment. It was because we'd been in some way helpful. That's
that was it. Yes, no, that was the point. And it was lovely to see that our work at Talk and on Twitch and on Patreon had been so positive. You know, people saying they liked it, but people also sharing experiences about depression, about the cancer, about death, and how the nonsense that we had done had been helpful. So I'm really hoping that you got you were able to accept some of that goodwill directed at you.
Yeah, especially because in the last few days you've heard me utter the words, I have a sneaking feeling that it was all a waste of time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. It
No.
would appear. It wasn't.
Yeah, I felt the same thing, and was reminded when I did that tweet on Monday. Was it? Did I do it on Monday? I might have done it in Paris. Can't remember. I think I did it when I was in Paris. Yeah, I did. I did it in Paris, in a cafe on the Champs-Élysées. Yasmin says, got me through my depression in 2018 and met people I now consider friends like Matty, Steve-O, Holly and others. Oh, it's Dan. The second TLNA show I ever listened to on Talk, I was struggling after the death of my grandma. Catherine said, life is shit, but people are great. It's stuck with me ever since. Lulu, our convo about hats and mum lifted my heart in an extremely low time. Love Honey Bunny Funny says, my mum died from MS. Give me a second. Your experience with the illness was a real lifeline when I was a teenager. Thank you. Graham Campbell Music, regular contributor, says, when my dad died back in 2019, TLNA and especially a few members of the listening community that I knew really helped get me through it. And that's us. That's what we created. That's what you created. You helped us build this city on, I believe, rock and roll. What was I going to say? Oh! So I went on a sushi making course with Kim last night, my youngest. Absolutely great. It was only us there. We thought there'd be other people. It was just us.
So did they, looking at the ingredients?
Yeah, I know. Well, because it was us, we got through it really quick. This wonderful teacher, a Romanian sushi chef called Catherine. And the only reason I did give you her ethnicity is because she said, I'm really sorry, it's me. My English isn't great. And I'm a bit nervous about this. This is only the second time I've ever taught this. She was incredible. She was incredible. We had such a good time. I've not seen Kim look so proud of himself. Why is my hand up?
I don't know.
Not look so proud of himself. We had so much fun. But we just kept
made
making
so much,
shitloads of sushi. He had it all for breakfast.
Did he?
I had mine for lunch and he had his for breakfast this morning. Oh,
That was about 200 quid's worth that I saw.
it was a lot of money. Oh, the annoying thing, when I was parking the car, I knocked a car as I was parking. Oh, I hate that. I knocked into a car and it dented the bumper of their car. My car's fine. And if there's anything that makes me, there's nothing that makes me hate myself more, I don't think this is an exaggeration, than smacking into someone else's car. Hate myself. And of course I left a note on the thing with my number, and they've messaged me today and they said, thank you so much for the note, that's really appreciated, we'll let you know how much it costs, blah, 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 blah. It'll be a couple of £100, right, which I can't really afford, but that's what it'll be, hopefully. But God, that makes me hate myself so much, bumping into someone else's car. It was parked, and there was so many parking spaces, and I chose to park next to another car. Idiot.
Well, you know, I did it within the space of twice within the space of a month at the beginning of last year. That was a sign to me that I wasn't right.
Yeah, when my driving goes a little bit wonky, I'm not. I hadn't made that connection. I'm not particularly there. So I was gutted by that. That pissed me off a lot. But we made sushi, and I was feeling I don't like salmon. And the first few sushis we made were salmon. And I'm seeing all your comments. We're going to go through them in a minute.
What don't you like about salmon? Too fishy for you?
I don't really like fish, and it's squidgy. And she said, you can eat these if you want, or you can take them home. And so I didn't want her to feel bad, so I was eating these salmon sushis.
What? People pleaser.
Yeah, completely. And I really thought I was going to. Can we get some water, please? It was close. It was very, very close. So we had a lot of fun. Yeah, Matella knows it. When you hit a car, you can't stop thinking about it for ages. Oh, no. I hate it. And now I'm going to be dreading, they're going to get in touch and say, well, it's going to be £300. And it's fine, I'll pay it. You know, I can't really afford it, but I'll pay it. Of course, I'll pay it. But I hate myself.
It's embarrassing, isn't it? It's embarrassing, and also you completely avoidable, but also shit that happens, unfortunately, sometimes because you're a human
Exactly.
being.
And there were people that saw it, and I had to be all jolly with Kim because I didn't want to ruin our evening. So I had to go, man, it's one of those things. What you do is you don't walk away, you don't drive away, you always leave a note, you put your phone number down. It'll be, but inside I'm going, fuck, you idiot. Idiot.
Yeah.
But on the way back, my calendar popped up on my phone, right? And I went, oh, Kim, tomorrow, well, have a look what it says on my phone for tomorrow, for today. And it just says, Dad's death. And we both started laughing. And I said, I could have, that's Grandad Malcolm. He died 10 years ago. I could have phrased it slightly better on the calendar, don't you think? And we had quite a good laugh about that. Dad's death. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, fine. Thanks. Thanks for that. 10 years.
Gosh.
10 yees. I know.
Have I known you for 10 years then?
Yes, you have, matey.
Holy
yes,
shit.
you have. So it was just before my 40th. Christ. Yeah. Wowzers. And Kim was in hospital shortly after that. John, who's a bumlick, says, Catherine is the wind beneath Ian's cushions, but really this has helped so many people and feels like family to me, but you are not my real parents. I've got some news on that, John. We've got the results are back. Lulu, I love our community. Monkey Boy, I have made some of my best friends in the world through your various shows. Dave says, on top of all the content you've created, you've had a huge impact on loads of people. I've only been around since 2020, plastic fan, but I've met, really 2020? It feels like you've been around for so much longer, Dave. I suppose the Twitch years were kind of intense, right?
Yeah.
Time was wobbly then.
We were all locked in together.
I'd never have started streaming and podcasting without you guys. Sarah Seabash, you two should have received honours for the work you did during the coronavirus. Did you see Skin from Skunk and Nancy's outfit?
Yes.
Fantastic. I've always liked her. She's got an amazing voice. Turns out she's got an amazing style as well. Oh, she looked incredible. Ian, does this take you back in time to the younger days? Let's see what this is. Let's see. Let's share the screen. Let's see what this is. Let's do that. I've got to move you here. I've got to move me. No, balls. I'm buggering everything up. Hang on. Zoom screen. I've got to move you there. Okay, let's see what this is. Iain Lee's video diary, show one. Let's see.
God.
This is
Head and
from
shoulders
Absolute.
for thick and strong hair and up to 90% less hair fall.
This is Iain Lee. Eloise is there, giggling as usual. No, the new weekday show. It's don't bum me. This is going to go on the Absolute website. So
Ben Jones.
Apparently, you wouldn't record any trails from my show. What's your
He's not
problem?
changed
fella?
at all, has he?
And I heard what you told Ella. Watch them going.
Oh.
Look how slim I am.
Try to move on from this. I've just spent the last.
Look how slim I am. What
You
a
look like
slim
your
young
eldest.
man. I do. He found a picture the other day and he said, oh, Daddy, we look so much alike. And I said, yeah, dude. Unlucky, buddy. Unlucky. Gatford says, I first found Ian in 2006 when I signed off work with depression. I was advised to listen to Nana Rayburn, but kept listening. BAPT. I still remember my first phone call to you two on Talk. I was nervous, but by the end I was laughing so much at a time when I was lost. Been with you ever since, and we appreciate that. Jimbo, you pair have helped Jenna and myself so much through all the crap we've had the last few years. Love you guys and forever grateful. David Turner says, Catherine is a dickhead. Wow, that's brutal. James, watching bloody Twitch. I used to drive my dad home at night and would always listen to you both on Talk. He was struggling with Parkinson's and was changing a lot. It made my day to hear him laughing at the same bits I did. That's fantastic. Linny, the show's in lockdown. We're a real lifeline, and only now do we realise that. I've met some fabulous people from this community. Music Soul, TLNAs, help me loads. You're great company. You make a real difference to people's lives, not just the people you know you've helped, like when Jerry was on the floor, or your suicidal callers, but also those that quietly listen. Dave Dogface, you saved my life a couple of times and probably not realised. I just didn't win you a fancy award, though, and that's it. You didn't, so it doesn't count. Joe once drove into a garage that had just fixed our car once, wrote it off, says David Turner's. Oh, no! Oh, no, mate! Well, okay, suddenly I don't feel so bad. Marizzle, we'll go through all of these. There's a few. When I was on my own during lockdown, you guys made me feel less alone. I'll never forget that. Jim Adebo, I started listening after you talked about it when coming out of the jungle. I was hooked in no time. That's partly why I did it. Oh, it's Dan. Ha ha ha. This reminded me of an old TLNO show and talk. Ian said, salmon smells too much like fish. And Catherine said, no shit. I don't think it does smell like shit. Me and my younger brother always say that when we have fish now. Richard, the first radio thing I listened to unusually was the Big Brother radio thing. Okay, all right. Harsh says, when it comes to radio broadcasting, you have the Midas touch, and as your accountant, I will be giving you £500 each for the next 6 months. Thank you, Harsh. That's brilliant. Alan, I started listening in 2016, thinking I wouldn't like it. It's a good reason to start listening, but it became so important. I've really learned so much from listening. Learned how to talk about stuff. Tony, TLNA was the highlight of a very bad time, and I love you because of that. Thank you. Alistair says, Catherine, you look very sporty spice this evening.
You know what? Do you want to know the truth?
Go on.
So I got my pajamas on.
You dirty so-and-so.
I'm under my trousers as well.
All right, we don't need to see it.
This morning it was all a bit of a rush, and actually they're quite comfortable.
Haxel House says, I've been listening to you since Absolute days. Always remember you, Barry, and Vinny playing Just a Minute. Had to stop the car. I was laughing so much. I had to stop the car. Brilliant. If you could find this, would love to hear it again. I signed up to Patreon. Thank you. We got a load of new Patreons. And if you're new here, thank you. We'll explain how it works in a bit. Jack says, I could go on and on about how brilliant you are. I keep it simple. Thank you for being you. Visionary, I was hooked when you talked with a guy who's admitting he was an alcoholic on Absolute. Pardon me. The player well known. I discovered you at LBC and listened every single day since. You need help. Iain Lee fan. You saved my life. Honestly, you have. Sorry I don't have an award for you. Thanks. Moisey Bag says, Jeff is part of our teenage son's normal vocabulary. We only realised the other day you made it up and it's not a word. Do you remember we tried to introduce that? And I started it in the jungle. The first task I do in the jungle, I say it and then I stopped. Zerma, mostly a non-caller, have been an avid listener. First time you covered for Clive. I was drunk for some of those shows. Firstly, I thought, oh my God, who's this idiot? I soon got you. I'm glad I did. I may skip through some of these. David Turner says, I started in 2007. James Farley sent me a link to some LBC clips. Kept having to pause to stop laughing out of my office. Oh, it's Dan says, my memories are thankfully silly. My life could have been so much worse after I lost my dad. You two helped. Trig. Ian got to get some sleep on a 4 a.m. start. Wanted to say you've been great to listen to. Some days I was working at 5 but staying up until 1. You need help. We're almost there. Mardista discovered you guys from listening to the Adam Buxton interview, then listened every night on Talk Radio. Do you remember being obsessed with the Africa song and you played different versions of it all night? Yeah. And here we go. Last one for now. Simon Le Bonbon, first time caller. I started listening in 2009 when my ex-wife and me were decorating my yet-to-be-born son's nursery. She hated you. I loved it. You were chastising a woman for angrily calling you before seeing her child. Do you know what? I don't know what that means, but that rings a very faint bell. Spiderfish says, listen during the Absolute. My first thoughts were, this isn't that bad, and have thought those same words this very day. I'll take that.
Quite right. You're going to put that on the poster.
Yeah, I'll take that. My fire. I finally worked out. I had to watch a YouTube video on how to get a fire going because they weren't taking. Partly because I didn't clean the ash out underneath, so it had no underdraft. You need to be clean underneath so you can get an underdraft.
I've heard that rumour.
So yeah, 10th anniversary of my dad dying. First day of freedom. I've got about 20 emails from people who are interested in working with me. So I'm going to go through them over the weekend. So I'm going to do about 5 or 6 tomorrow and then split them up. And we will see what we will see. We will see whether the great gamble was paid off.
The great gamble.
So what's going to happen is we're going to carry on doing Patreon, and we've got so many people that have signed up. Thank you. And there'll be people watching who haven't signed up. So Patreon is going to keep going. And what that means is we tend to do generally 2 shows a week like this, on YouTube. They're generally on YouTube, and they're behind a paywall, so you can only see them. And thank you for the mods who are putting the Patreon link in the chat. I'll read it out in a minute for the podcast listeners. So you get 2 shows a week, 3 hours each. Can be a little bit longer now, actually, if the vibe catches us. Generally on a Thursday and a Friday evening. You only get the link to it if you are a £4.99 plus VAT Patreon. And you also get the full audio of that delivered as a podcast. Last week while we were away, you should have got 2 podcasts of our live Luton show exclusively at the moment for Patreons. We'll put it out for free later. If you're a Patreon, you get the full audio today of my last show, including the music. The one without the music is out for free, but the full show. So, and you also get access to, if you sign up today, $4.99 plus VAT or above, you also get access to, I think there's like 300 shows or something.
If anything, it's too much.
It's too much. 300 shows on video and 300 odd shows on podcast. Over 1,000 hours of stuff you have access to. Love Honey Bunny says, oh, wow, 3 hours each like the old days. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if you're listening to the podcast, please go and have a look at patreon.com/Iain and Catherine. Patreon.com/IAIN and Catherine with a K. The $4.99 plus VAT tier is the one. We also, if you go up to the £15 tier, you get invited to generally two private Zoom meetings a month with me and Catherine and the other £15-pounders. And generally it's like, there's like about 10, 12, 15 people come. We do it for an hour. It's not a show. We just have a chat. You don't have to have your cameras on. You don't have to have your microphones on. It's not there. It's just us having a chat. Yeah. Even more informal than this. That's the £15 and above tier. But the $4.99 plus VAT tier will get you access to these shows. And we tend to do 1 or 2 free shows a month to temptate you. And we've agreed we're going to keep doing these until the end of August at the very least. Then we're going to take a little check and see where we are. But we are guaranteeing we are doing these until the end of August. They're a lot of fun. On Fridays, it tends to be a phone-in because Catherine's here and so it's easier. So it tends to be a phone-in. On Thursdays, it's normally a bit more informal. We'll put the link to the Zoom in the chat in a bit in case anyone wants to join in. But Patreon will still be going. So it's the only way you get to see us together, and it's the only way you're going to see me doing anything that comes close in style to the radio show. But you've retired, Ian. I've retired with caveats. We will keep doing this. If someone, I recorded a whole week worth of links for BBC Radio 4 Extra yesterday. I will keep doing that. If someone gets in touch and says there's some VO work, if someone gets in touch and says, oh, we'd like you to do a talking head for a TV show and it's 250 quid for an hour, I will do that. If someone comes and says, we'd like you to do a late night phone in on a Friday and we'll pay you.
Put your hand down, please.
Where's that come from? I would certainly consider it. You know, but the retirement is from doing a radio show every single day. The retirement is from chasing that form of life. I am now a counsellor. I'm now a psychotherapist because it's not a protected term, so I can say that. So and that is my job. Everything else, this is all bonus stuff. These are, I don't want to say side hustles because it demeans it. And this money is actually integral. I can't afford to live on the money I'm making from counselling alone. I need this. Catherine needs this because she's not working at the moment. But I consider it a retirement from that.
Well, of course, I am working at the moment because this is a job. But also,
I do apologise. You are correct. Yes,
I will continue to be working with Mr. Clinton Baptiste when he comes back from his cruise.
You see the size of the theatre on that ship?
Yeah, and beige seats. Big mistake.
There's a couple more comments. Craig says, your talk radio show had me and Kerry, the wife, always laughing in bed. Even had us travel all the way down to London to see you and Kath. You also sent Kerry into labour once, showing Paul Daniels on Twitch. Oh. Okay, was that the elephant trick? Jack in the Box, I've always listened in the background, not really interacted a great deal. First heard you both on Talk. I was going through a very tough time after losing my dad, but you both made me laugh for the first time in months. Thank you and good luck. Lee says, is there a link, please? I think that link should be in the chat. If you go and look for it, there it is, patreon.com/Iain and Catherine. Tommy says, I've been on Patreon from the start. Highly recommend it. Well worth the money for the feeling of being part of family. Why? What? Hang on. What comment was banned, Gatford?
Oh, what's been said?
Clearlines. Whoa. This is... I need to go and have a little look because I know how to do mod view now. 3 years after we started doing this, I now know how to do mod view. 3 years after we started doing this, I now know... Oh, no, actually, how do I do mod view? There's that. What did Clearline say? Because Clearline's... Clearline's regular. How do I see it? Certainly justified. You click. How do I see what they said? Nasty stuff, Ian. No. I'll see it because Clearline's are regular. I'm keen to see what was said. Wow, Clearline's been around for ages, right? Following since 1st of April 2021. Psychotherapist. So they have put Psycho the Rapist. How apt for you.
Wow.
What? I'm blown up because Clearline's been one of us for ages. Wow. Wow. I'm not offended, you know.
Yeah, that seems to have come out of nowhere.
Wow. Someone's pissed, aren't they? What? What? That is really... That is... What? They all turn, you're right. Roger says, I'm very happy Katie Hopkins did cover on the 10 till 1 show on LBC, as that's what led me to find the show on Talk. I think you'd only been doing it a few weeks and I'd never heard you on the radio before. Didn't look back. Thank you. Lee says, are you still doing tours around the UK? No. Was it a typo? No, because they had put Psycho space the space rapist. That was so it was not. That was a deliberate thing. Wow.
There's two options there. There's two options there. They meant to be offensive, or they thought it was somehow funny.
Because calling people psychopathic rapists is funny, right? We know that.
Especially at the moment. Are you all right, Clearline?
My God, that's just totally blown my mind. That was totally blown my mind.
Wow.
How do I see? How do I see if there are any unban requests? Unban requests.
Let me have a look. I'm gonna.
Okay, no, there's not. There's not one from Clearline yet. Operation Johnny. Oh, okay. Heard mental shit about this guy. Go to Tattle. God, the Tattle. You don't even want to know what that is.
They're desperate for people to look on there, aren't they? Those people. Makes
can we
them feel
chat
normal.
about? Max has got banned from saying, "Can we chat about the negative impact of having the?" Oh, here we go. So this person got banned a while ago. Can we chat about the negative impacts of having the vaccine? I'm rather saddened by the verbal abuse I received from him for simply asking a question. He called me many names, which I was uncalled for because I had a different view. Disappointed. Let's go to the Tattle guy. Can you unban me to say goodbye? No. Pharaoh, can I get an here we go.
Oh, hang on. If that's Pharaoh, that's that. I recognise that.
I've never been banned, only timed out. I'm always sailing close to a ban on Twitch, but they never go through with it in the end. We ban them. Can I get an unban, please? It's been too long. Nope, denied.
You sailed close. You fell off the edge, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, and let's just... Heard mental shit about this guy. Go to Tattle.
Mental shit.
You
don't need to go to Tattle. We've talked about it all.
I I glimpsed at it once and went, fucking hell, bleach my eyes. We used to have someone who would tell me what was going on in there, and I'd say, please don't tell me about that or Digital Spy. I'm so not interested. And I clicked on it once. Bloody hell.
They're having such a good time on there. It's none of our business.
It's none of our business. Good for them. Good for them. That really has tickled my pickle, Clearline. That's really tickled my pickle. What a world we live in.
Isn't it, though?
Jimbo says, I made the mistake of reading Tattle a couple of weeks ago. Lee says, now you're not on the radio, which station would you say was the best and worst that you work for? They all had their pluses. 3CR I had the best team. Got to meet Catherine. Also had Justin, Scoinsey, Kelly Betts. I'm forgetting someone.
Boy Danny.
So that was the best team. It's the best and the worst. I guess the one I look back with the most pride is LBC, because what I was doing there was so subversive within that framework. You know, they said they got me in because it was a really small station. It had lost its. They said the audience is old women and they are dying. Could you come in and shake it up a bit? Yes, please. And it was so subversive comparatively to what was going on. So I guess that was probably the one I look back with the most pride on. Pedal Jim says the Tommy Boyd show is on the on. Oh, he's got a new show on some. I've got a spot there. On a small Brighton radio station. I've not listened to it. I probably won't because I'm not really in the mood for listening to radio. Don't know if anyone's heard it, what anyone thinks about it. If I saw a couple of people say nice things about it, so good for him. Regency Radio is the thing, so good for him. I just can't be doing with it. I can't be doing with making radio shows anymore. I'm done.
I get it. I was watching Happy Valley. I've started watching Happy Valley from the beginning because I hadn't seen any of it. And they had someone on there doing like a news report, radio news report.
Yeah.
They never do it right, do they? Why don't they just get an actual radio newsreader on there?
But then, do you not think it's weird when you watch like a movie and then they have Emily Maitlis on or Ben Shepherd or someone in it?
When it's a BBC-owned movie or something.
Well, no, they do it in proper Hollywood movies as well. What was I watching the other day? Some absolute crock of shit about.
They were on the red sofa in Happy Valley. They were in the actual newsroom.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What was it? Some film about a space invasion or something, and it went to the BBC. It went to Sky News. Someone at Sky News. The latest thing that's going on. Have you watched that Mel Gibson movie about a late night radio host? Yeah, it's the biggest crock of shit I have ever.
I haven't,
seen.
and I don't need to because Ian's filled me in on just how ridiculous it was.
It was awful.
We saw a really shit film recently, though, didn't we?
Oh God, we went to see. We were in Paris, right? Yeah, we had a night. I said, "Well, should we go and see a movie?" Yeah, okay. And it was two choices. It was the new M. Night Shyamalan film, which I'm looking forward to, even though it's got bad reviews, or the Gerard Butler film that I'm sure I remember having really good reviews. Mayday. But I thought it was an aeroplane crashes on a spooky island. I thought it was like Lost, but it's not. An aeroplane crashes on a war-torn island. Sweet Jesus, my Lord, it was. I've been talking too much. I don't even want to talk about that piece of crap. You talk about it, Catherine.
Spoiler. Although, actually, I might save you. How much is it to go to the cinema? It's absolute shite, right? So, first of all, Gerard Butler.
I like him. I like watching his films, but he's awful.
Is he going to do the American voice or is he going to be Scottish? We thought he'd started with the American voice.
Well, he started. I leant over to you and I went, of course, you know he's Scottish in real life.
Yes. And then, because he's like, yeah, I'm just about to get on the plane. And so you think, all right, okay, we're doing American, are we, Gerard? I'm on. And then he goes, and don't forget my neeps and tatties when I get home.
Yeah, actually said that.
We went, oh, he's underlining the fact that he's not an American. Okay, I get it. And then he did make another couple of references to being Scottish, didn't he?
I'm not English. I'm Scottish. But even what I was doing there was more of a Scottish accent than what he was doing.
With such a weird accent. Anyway, so he goes off on his plane, telling his daughter that he'll be home. He might be a little bit late. Foreshadowing anyone? There you go. with a load of flipping sugar on top. And then we worked out, didn't we, that the whole film was pointless. Because if he'd just sat tight with the plane, they would have... They got it working within about 10 minutes.
It was an episode of The A-Team. That's what it was, wasn't it? It was like you paid to see the movie of the A-Team TV series.
So he goes off on a rampage in his vest. Does some fights and alerts the terrorists to him being present on the island, and therefore they get their guns together and start attacking the plane, right? But meanwhile, his colleague has fixed the plane.
He's fixed the plane.
Just hung on 10 minutes. They could have flown back.
It was. I
People
like
were
a really.
laughing. People were laughing, and this was
no,
Paris.
no, they weren't. No,
there was some laughter.
People were cheering at some of the plane stunts, and then applauded when he landed the plane. The guy next to me was having the time of his life.
I think they were applauding because it was nearly over.
It was awful. I like crap films. It was awful. Mr. Bodell says, I need a new morning breakfast show. What's Julia Hartley-Brewer like? Would that be comparable to Rude Awakening? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, so
I don't. By the way, is Quiet Bloke in here? I don't know if Quiet Bloke's in here. Make yourself known. Yeah, they basically hotwire the plane. Awful. Look at that go, baby. I'm getting zero heat off it, but it tricks the mind. Tony says seeing it in Edinburgh was a very different experience. Were people on his? What does? I know he's from. I think he's Glasgow, isn't he? What do people in Scotland?
Edinburgh. He sounds a bit posher.
Oh, I thought he was Glasgow. Quiet Bloke. Got your little cheeky bonus sub. So thank you for that. Another little cheeky bonus donation, shall we say? Donaziano. Let's put the donation link in here in case anyone wants to donate now. That let's put the link in the chat. He's West Coast. All right. What do people in Scotland think of him? By the way, if you want to donate, streamelements.com/TLNA/tip. Streamelements.com/TLNA/tip. There you go. He's from Paisley. And so is Liz Truss. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I thought she was from Yorkshire.
What?
Yeah, did she go on about being from Yorkshire at one point?
Okay. Or PayPal.me.
I don't know. I zoned out.
/Iain Lee. PayPal.me/Iain Lee is where to go if you want to donate. Do you know what? I'm going to change the donate button to that PayPal thing. It makes it a little bit easier to do that. So yeah, that was awful. We went and saw a French comedian. But she got me up on stage, which was awful. Which just, oh my God! I've got people up on stage before. I will never be doing that ever again. It was bloody awful. What were you doing when I was up on stage? You weren't offering any help whatsoever.
I was just watching the absolute discomfort on your face as she repeatedly chest barged you.
Yeah. I felt her boobs against my stomach. I did. I really did. I felt her boobs against my stomach. I thought, this is not how I want to live my life.
Yeah. It was interesting, wasn't it? I did give her extra points, the fact that she's French and she's doing that whole thing in English.
Dakota.
So she can have an extra dues point for that.
Oh, it was an interesting. It was an enjoyable hour. It was an enjoyable hour. It was what it was. Paris is lovely. Jeez, it stinks of piss. It really.
And it's really strong. They're obviously not drinking enough water.
Yeah, very strong. Saw the Mona Lisa. Saw the Venus de Milo.
Yeah. Did that. Went up
Picasso.
the Sacré-Cœur.
Sacre-Cœur. Nearly had a Russell. Do I know you from somewhere? It's me, sweat pouring off me, stopping so I can breathe. My hug.
That's as we went up the steps at Montmartre, which are virtually 90 degrees.
Do I know you from somewhere? I said, I used to be on telly. Okay. I was in the jungle. What do you mean by when you say the jungle, what do you mean? Anyway, nice meeting you. Has the Mona Lisa got bigger? Yeah, it has got bigger. Because I remember seeing it and it was tiny, and it wasn't that small.
I remembered it being A4. It's definitely more like an A3.
How Matt Bio
Maybe
says,
even A2.
How Matt Bio says, I am not racist.
Okay, that's what all the racists say.
I'm waiting for the but. Why would you come into a chat for I'm not a racist?
Well, he started with okay, bye. I was thinking in that don't be going wrongy, like spelt with an E on the end, like in Old England. So.
Nelly, I saw your friend on Dragon's Den the other day doing the flowers. I was watching something else. So it seems that there is Nelly is a type, right? Because I was watching something.
Yeah.
The other day, and I thought, oh, that guy is exactly like Nelly. What was it? Were you watching it?
Yeah, it was. It was Dragon's Den, wasn't it?
No, because we saw his friend in Dragon's Den. There was something else where I went, oh, that's Nelly-ish.
Yeah, definitely from the same factory.
Yeah. It wasn't Terminator 2. No. People are now saying what they're not. I have never pirated a movie, says King Mike.
Okay.
I am not a doctor, says John. I am not a giraffe, says Graham.
Yeah.
Shite Hawk says I've never murdered anybody.
Okay.
Did your mum go to the 40th cousin birthday party? No. I found a way of doing it, but actually I was not feeling very well, so that didn't happen.
I have never stolen a policeman's helmet, says Lonely God.
Ming says I'm not a pervert. We know that's not true. Sensibilium, I've never driven a bus. I'm not an animal, says producer Tobes. I've never got taken on a spaceship by aliens. I am not a number. I've never used
Michael
an air
Twitch,
fryer.
I've never been to me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, mate. I'm not a sofa. Gatford says, Gatford, mate, I don not have 10 toes.
Donut.
I'm not.
Oh, it's lovely to know what you're not.
He's Don not. That's what he is. So, welcome to the new Patreons. Welcome to the old Patreons. Welcome to people if you just coming in because you saw the link and you saw the full
Oh, BSN bot says I don't watch TNLA. TNLA.
Pano Chocolade says, "Come on now, I've never judged Miss World, but Catherine looks gorgeous." Time out, Catherine. Okay, no, you're playing up to it. Time in. Love Honey Bunny Funny says, I'm not a lesbian apart from trying it once.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, so if you're new, this is what we do Thursdays and Fridays, generally behind a paywall. For $4.99 plus VAT, you get access to these two shows a week, plus thousands of hours worth of previous shows. Go and have a look. It's part of our income. It's really, really important. I can't afford to be a counsellor without this factored in. Patreon.com/Iain and Catherine. Patreon.com/IAIN and Catherine with a K. We've had a Dean. Thank you for that tip. We've sold a postcard. Remind me, we've got to do a postcard.
Oh my.
I think we've sold at least one postcard.
Nice.
Okay, so let me write that on the whiteboard. Postcard. That's very handy. I forgot we have merch. I forgot that we have what is called in the industry merch. Okay, all right. I feel that we're warming up now. We're an hour in. I'm gonna play a little bit of Team Fortress after the show tonight, which you're very welcome to stick around and watch, guys.
And what's that about?
It's like one of the OG runny shooty bang bang games.
Oh, right.
And I'd forgotten about it. What's the one that begins with a C? There's one that begins with a C.
Chucky
Please
egg.
don't. There's an OG shooty bang bang game. Counter-Strike. Is Counter-Strike still a thing? Counter-Strike. I think I meant that instead of... is Counter-Strike on Epic? Let me see. I think I meant that instead of the one, whatever it was I just said. Counter-Strike. No. Oh, Jesus, Patty.
She's done another.
Yeah, where can I get Counter-Strike from? Counter-Strike is on Steam. Oh, I'm on Epic. Hang on. Let me just close Epic. Let me go to Steam. Store. Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike. I want to download Counter-Strike. Guys, I want to play Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, it's free. Oh, that's Counter-Side. No, I don't want that.
No. You are allowed to play that, but you have to speak like Jerry Butler for the whole time.
Okay. There's a smell of cat piss. Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike.
It's time of night.
Counter-Strike Nexon Studio. What? Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike.
Could you stop saying Counter-Strike?
What am I looking for, guys? Counter-Strike. So there's Counter-Strike Condition Zero or Counter-Strike CSGO. Let's try that. CSGO player profile. What? CSGO player. CS. What? Counter-Strike Global Offensive. No, mate. That doesn't come up. What is Counter-Strike? Don't tell me about Insurgency Sandstorm. Talk to me about Counter-Strike.
Why do you have to play such horrible games anyway? Why can't you build something nice?
I'll build something nice for you in a minute. I don't know what that means.
No, but it sounded threatening, and I think that was the idea, wasn't it?
Denzel, thank you for the sub. Clearline, thank you for the tip. Apologies to Ian and Catherine, back on the morphine and suffering mental fugue state. Okay, we don't need to apologise for that. Delith, thank you for the sub. Yam Yam Ref, thank you for the sub. Erins, thank you for the sub. Sofa Bomb, Simon Lebanon, King Mike, and David Turners, we got those. County Strife, it's not County Strife.
Why don't you do what that nice David Turners does and clean things for fun?
Oh, I hate that game. Jesus Christ, it makes me I hate that goddamn game. Please stop saying Counter-Strike Global Offensive because that doesn't come up. That doesn't come up as a thing in Steam. Did I say Clearline just tipped? No, did I? Clearline tipped 5 minutes ago. Oh, apologies to Ian and Catherine, back on the morphine and suffering mental fugue state.
Ah. Okay.
What do we do? Oh, hang on. Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I'll stop saying it in a minute when you stop saying it. It's a big old game. Oh, it's Dean. All right, what do we do, Catherine?
Oh, Dean, don't be a daft sod.
Okay, let me know.
I think morphine is mitigating circumstances.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Okay, I'm downloading it. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. CSGO. Counter-Strike.
Oh my God. Are you getting paid every time you say Counter-Strike? What's going on?
I'll tell you what's going on.
Put up a hashtag paid promotion.
I just want fun in my life. Have you played Daley Thompson's Track and Field? Shut up. Everyone shut up. Everyone's getting right on my Counter-Strike Global Offensive. All right, Dean, we'll
I know what I'm going to call the podcast for this show.
What?
Counter-Strike.
Unbanned, Dean. But that was pushing it. That was pushing it. One more. Global Offensive. One more and you're out for good. Morphine or no morphine. One more and you're out for good. Right?
For your own safety, really.
It's for your own safety.
Oh God, what was that game called again?
Team Fortress. Got a spot there. Got a spot here.
Don't pick it. I'll give you one. I'll give you one of the girls' stars.
I bought myself something today. It came last night and I had a play. I took this box to my bed last night. It brought me so much pleasure I thought I would die. It was so good. It was so nice. It's got attachments. Look at that. Then it's got another attachment. Looks like that. But this one's the one that's got me interested. Where could that possibly go? I got a machine. I'm gonna let you hear it. Then I'm gonna show you what I got.
Were you on that all night?
Psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. We're doing that a lot. Yeah, I just like to phone up and complain about the way that I've been treated recently. This is, oh my God. So this is my new toy, and I love it.
Say exterminate.
Exterminate. Exterminate. Exterminate. Exterminate. Exterminate. It's a massager. Mine only goes up to 20. But
I saw those advertised and I wondered whether they were massagers or they were massagers.
You know when you stroke a dog under its leg and it gets lost in pleasure?
Yeah.
This is me.
Is your leg going?
Counter-Strike. 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 A massager. It is the same. Anyway, so I got this. Because they're about 120, 150 quid. And then I saw a news thing saying the £40 back massager from Aldi that's changed everybody's life. Oh. And you know I've been having back problems. And I looked on Amazon, and this I think was 40. This was slightly different, but 40 quid. I thought, well, I'll get it, and I'll give it. If it's no good, I'll just send it back. Flipping brilliant, man.
You can't send that one back.
No. This one's dirty.
In fact, it sounds like it needs charging. Could you not do that?
See what's really nice? I'll show you what's really nice. On the buttocks.
No, I don't think.
Oh! Imagine if you slip. So I do it without my trousers and pants on.
Oh my God. All right, you better stop doing that now.
Okay. Counter-Strike.
I know it's still on. Are you sitting on it?
Can't turn it off. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, now if I wake up early, I can just have a play.
God. So when do you get any work done?
Aeon King. No, honestly, I slipped and fell when showing it off to people online.
Why was it wearing a condom?
TOS Nelly says unsubscribe. Save this for the paywall, son, says Chunky. Imagine the journo, says Springtide. Lee quits radio to massage self online. Honestly, it's fucking brilliant. I love it. But I have all these These are different attachments.
Okay. Well, maybe that's something you should explore alone.
Oh, shoot. So I don't know what this one. I think this one's this one. It's got the instructions. Hang on. What's this one for? What is that? What would we say that was? That's for routine relaxation and muscles.
Is that what they call it? Routine relaxation.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, that's too good. Harry Hardy. Hey, guys, sending you love to the pair of you. You did the right thing, Ian. All the best for your new career. My new career is a masseuse on myself. A masseuse. Oh, hello, Pat. Do you want to have a go on this?
You can't do it on a cat.
Wouldn't do it, my little girl. Her bolt would come out. It would unscrew itself and her leg would fall off. Wouldn't it? Your leg would fall off, my little girl. Where's Big Boy? Have all of you ganged up and killed him? I've not seen Big Boy for a week. Where is he? Where's the body? There's the goddamn body. There's a tale there. There's a tale to be told. Tobe says the pointy attachment is pure evil. Just a warning. Thank you. Harry, thank you for the sub in case I did not do that. Big Boy is presenting on Jack FM.
He's noisy enough.
Took my picture off the website this morning, didn't they?
I don't know.
Good for them. Good for them. My prediction, that station won't be there by the end of the year. That was another concern of mine was they assured me they were financially solvent. They assured me they were. But I got worried because they would, with a weird quirk, it works out they'd hold 2 months of my money. I just think financial negative, is that because John I think posted the accounts which are out there for everyone to see, but I don't understand accounts. Hello, baby. Hello, my little baby. Yeah. Do you want a purr for everyone?
Are you talking to that massager again?
No, she wants to be a dick. They are financial negative. Hachi machi. Well, I got out. Just in time. I feel so good. I was, I tell you, so yesterday I went into London. You can yawn, Catherine, it's okay. Hello, silly old Alex. That's Babcock, right? Is that? I don't know what your online name is. Babcock. So lovely. Thank you so much for coming on the show yesterday. It was so. I know, whatever's happened, we've talked about that privately. Jimbo says the accounts basically showed they owed so much more to their directors' parent company than they were owed or earned.
Uh-huh.
I think, anyway, I'm not going to. Excuse me. Was just listening back to the show. Thank you so much for coming on, Alex. It was lovely to play along with that silly old sod again. So you made it really, really special. I know it surprised a lot of people. I think you, Vinny, and Agent Chris, and Eloise, actually, because people didn't see me tweeting her. I think those were the ones who everyone went, oh my God. What they're on. It was a real delight. So thank you. It was a lot of fun.
And how did you get Eloise?
I tweeted her and then you said I've got her number, but she was about to reply to my tweet when I WhatsApped her.
Oh, I see.
Ming says, Harry says, I cried with laughter when you said he'd done it with Hoover. What was great about yesterday's show is that no one who listened to Jack, and trust me, I've heard the figures, no one's listening to Jack, but no one would have got any of the reference in the show. So, it was lovely having Babcock on. Apparently he was doing it, he had family around, so he was doing it under the sheets. The show was actually a great 3 hours out of my day every day. We'll feel sad with that. Yeah, thank you, Jason, because I didn't think it was a very good show, particularly after Will left, because I need someone to bounce off, whether it be a producer or phone calls, and there weren't that many phone calls. So for me, it was I was just going in and reading the newspaper and trying to. I did one show where I had a story, and I was so bored. I thought, right, I wonder how long I can drag this one story out for, and I did it for 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's how bored I was. And so the show wasn't good for me. But then a lot of people that I don't know particularly well, but also people I respect, like Farley and Turners and people like that, were going, "Oh no, it's really good. It's really good." So there was a bit of me that went, "Oh shit, maybe I'm making a terrible decision." But it was more than just the quality of that show. It's more than just the quality of that show that caused me to. I think I've not retired because of the Jack FM show. The Jack FM show it was very helpful because it illustrated to me that I don't want to do that anymore. Don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. And I'm looking forward. And I realise I've tweeted a lot recently. I said in the last tweet, I know it's a bit like a Kiss farewell tour. But yeah, the tweets will eventually disappear. Alex says, "You know how much you didn't like Talk Radio at the time? Do you miss it now?" I miss the money. It paid good. I wish I'd respected that a bit more. No, I don't miss it, but I look back on the shows more fondly. I think I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. This is new. I'm 50 this year. I'm 50 in 4 months. June to February to March, March to April, April to May, May to June.
Gosh,
4 months. I'm 50. What a time! What a time to be alive! What a time to change things, shake things up a little bit. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Graham says I was 50 tweaks ago. It's weird. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Bring it on. I've got to arrange a party. Got to get a bouncy castle.
Oh my God! How did he die? Bouncy castle.
Ming says your 50th, Kath's 30th. Huge year. Ming, you're going to get time out for that, mate.
You're not. You're going to get enough respect.
Yep, you got a little time out there, buddy. You have a little think about what you did. All right. Lulu's 60. Springtime says I'm 33, baby. Jesus o'clock. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Visionary was 50 earlier in the week, I think. So she knows what it's like. What do you want to do, Catherine? There's all this freedom. You can ask me anything you want, by the way, about
Why
Jack.
don't you open up the lines?
You want me to put the Zoom in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll put the Zoom in the chat.
Do it, man. Do it.
You can ask me anything you want about Jack. I feel I've kind of talked. Lonely Girl says I'm 36. What? You look much older than that. You can ask me anything you want, but I feel I've kind of said enough. But if there's any questions you got, you can ask me. Of course you can. That's absolutely fine. There's the Zoom link. If anyone wants to join in, you're very, very welcome to. After this, I'm going to be playing a little bit of Counter-Strike.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to be watching Happy Valley or
go on.
American Horror Story, which I've just started as well. That's been going on for years, and there's loads of series of it. I'm on the second series, and it's horrible and brilliant at the same time.
Is it? Because I've heard about this. I have not seen.
I'm enjoying it. it, but I kind of like schlocky horror, but it's a bit more refined than that. I've enjoyed it.
Okay, all right.
I'm sure I'll hit. It's only the second series. Maybe it hits a wall.
Dean, apology accepted. We're all good.
But there's now else on, isn't there? Let's be honest.
Part of me, I'm going to be playing Counter-Strike, for those curious. Part of me thinks I should watch Happy Valley. I just can't be bothered.
Oh, I like it.
Is it spooky?
No.
Oh, I'm not bothered then.
But she's brilliant in it.
She's great. She's always great.
The first one, which I believe was out in 2014, she introduces herself to some lad who's putting himself in danger in the park or whatever. Hello, I'm Catherine. I'm 47. I've got 2 children, one dead, one doesn't speak to me. I live with my sister who's an ex-heroin addict. What's going on here then? It's like, okay, we're caught up.
And they call it Happy Valley as well, you know.
Yeah.
Alex says the Zoom room looks like a zombie invasion. You wanted him back in the community, guys. You wanted him back in the community. This is what you get.
How rude.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll bother with it. I don't really like TV programs. What did I try? Oh, I watched Drag Me to Hell. the Sam Raimi film. I went to the pictures to see that and remembered really enjoying it and thinking it was really good. And I watched it over the last few days and thought, bloody hell, this hasn't aged well, has it?
I got back into telly. I'm going back into telly because I started watching Traitors. I watched the UK one, then I watched the US one. Different game altogether.
Totally. It's good though, wasn't it?
Yeah, so good. So the US one, you've got some reality TV stars in there who know what their assignment is. Basically, they make it dramatic.
Plus,
no one's friends.
Alan Cumming is just incredible as a host.
Although, did you notice the script was almost exactly the same?
Oh, totally, yeah.
Way more hats in the US Traitors, my sister was saying.
Yes, it's like, I think they got a deal with the Hat Man.
I started watching a program that several of you have suggested, you may have even suggested it, Jimbo, that about a plane crash, plane disappears and then people arrive back 5 years later or something, Manifest or something. Anyway, I started watching it because it was on Netflix. I got 10 minutes into it. I thought, I've got absolutely no idea what's going on. Let me look at this. And Netflix has only got season 4.
Oh.
So.
I haven't recommended it. I haven't even heard of it.
All right.
I'm rewatching X-Files on Disney+.
Oh, watching X-Files with the lights on? Don LeMay's on? You hope the Smoky Man's in this one?
Yeah. No lights on.
Ooh.
Tough guy. We've got a tough guy in the house.
It's good. It's really good. It's aged quite well. There's some weird stuff like the computers are all Windows 95 and that kind of stuff.
Isn't there a season where he's not in it? He quit. It's like season 7 or something.
I didn't get that far.
And he'd quit. So they did it with another guy, but then it flopped miserably. So he sort of came back.
There's 10 seasons, so possibly. Okay. I mean, I think when I was watching it, I got as far as the film when I was watching it, I think. Which I think was season 5 or 6.
Gosh.
Season 8, he's not in it, apparently. Graham's watching Better Call Saul again. There's nothing really that tickles... There's nothing really that tickles my pickle. I've just been watching Dragon's Den.
I'm also rewatching DuckTales. It's great to have on when you're just doing some work.
DuckTales.
Got
a great theme tune.
I messaged you in to say Your Honour season 2's on Paramount. Do you fancy that?
Oh, Your
Season
Honour.
2 of what?
Your Honour.
What was Your Honour?
It was the one where
Bryan Cranston.
Oh, hang on. Oh, that's what that was. Is season 2 the same cast?
Yeah.
Is it any good? Because season 1 was great and was one of those things that should have been a contained story.
Yeah, I've just done about 3/4 of the first episode.
Gafford, what are you doing?
They've made
I'm trying to set your camera up, sorry.
Shut up. Alice is talking.
They've made it really quite dramatic, so it gets off with a bang, so to speak. I don't know how the rest of it's going to be, whether or not, they're going to start repeating themselves. That's always a danger, isn't it, with series? But I think Bryan Cranston's always very good.
He's always watchable.
It's a well put together program, I would say.
Tony says, and this ties in with another text you sent me the other day, Alistair. I was just watching the old Gogglebox where they were commenting on Ian in the Jungle.
Yes, that's right.
You were watching that, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was good because one of the women in Leeds has 2 sisters.
Ellie and Izzy.
Yeah, and your clip came on and she said, "Oh, Iain Lee, I quite fancy him."
And what about a guide dog?
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, mate.
Someone's brave Navy retired.
No. We don't do jokes like that.
Are you on the morphine?
Holtender says, I finished Alice in Borderland over the weekend. Absolutely perfect ending. It is a really good ending. What is great about that last episode is in the first 10 minutes, they piss all over the ending of 1899. And they go, you think that's an ending? That ain't, and they make a joke about it. You think that's an ending? Nah, mate, that's not an ending. We'll show you a proper ending. I
don't want to watch 1899 because it's only one series. But is it worth it?
Yes, yeah. The journey is great. I was really disappointed when it got cancelled, but actually having it end like that, I think works perfectly.
It's for the best. I think it's for the best. Perfectly. They could only spoil it.
Yeah.
Also, the X-Files, neither of the stars were in it in 8 and 9, I think 9 and 10. They both left and then both came back for the finale and then the remake. So
I don't know if I believe that. They both weren't in. No, hang on. You've just said that neither him nor her were in. I can't remember. Mulder and Scully are not in.
They're not in the majority. He left the show.
Sorry, hang on a minute. I've just seen Dave. Sorry, I've just seen Dave's name. I'm sorry, Dave. Paul Haggard and jaundiced. Okay.
Is that what you were sitting there, Dave, waiting for us to notice?
So sorry, mate. It took me quite a while to get it.
And he's younger than you, Ian. God.
Scully is in all the seasons, says Zero.
Yeah, but she's not in every episode of like the
last. No. You
said definitely.
You said Mulder and Scully are not in series 9 and 10.
Yeah, she's not a main star in series 9.
Is she in series 9?
She appears, but she's not a main
star. God, I feel like bloody 30. I feel like 30p Lee arguing with that BBC presenter. Is she
can you remove
series 9
or play all of this?
Is she in series 9? Yes or no answer.
Yes, she's in series
9. Is she
9.
in series 10? Yes or no answer.
Yes.
Then you've just proved yourself to be a liar.
I'm misinformed. It's a different thing.
Don't even play any of this interview out. Don't play any of this interview out.
All of it. I want,
I don't want it. No, you don't have permission to play any of it now.
You're going to edit it.
You're going to edit it.
You're going to edit it and make me sound like an idiot.
Have you heard that the interview that we're referring to, Catherine?
No, because I can't stand that fella. But I got the Twitter rundown of it.
Yeah, it's. I heard the 4-minute version.
She's really good though. Where is she? Is she Nottingham?
Nottingham,
yeah.
I didn't realise Roy Walker had got a new job.
What was I? Oh, I was listening to Roy Walker on 4Extra last night. That's why he's in my head.
He's got a very famous daughter.
Oh, he was talking about his daughter on this thing. He was talking about his bloody daughter.
The reason I bring it up is because we went to a lovely dedication to Eddie Large. Do you remember
Edward Largewood
in Blackpool, and they were unveiling his beautiful portrait in the Winter Gardens, and a number of his friends stood up and spoke a few words about him, and then Roy Walker got up and spoke a few words about his daughter.
About his bloody daughter.
And we were all sitting there going,
is she famous? Is she anybody, or just...
Apparently
she's in a movie.
Yeah.
Roy Walker from Catchphrase?
Yes.
Okay.
Perhaps he could only see his daughter in the crowd and he was just saying what he could see.
She wasn't.
Hey!
She's in a
trying to think of a way of getting that in, Jimbo. You beat me to it.
It's good, but it's not right. Yeah, it was all like, and of course my daughter, who's now very famous, was going to be appearing with Eddie, and he decided that they weren't going to put it in. And
you think there's a bit of a Trump thing going on? Like, he fancies her a bit.
No,
what the fuck is wrong with you tonight, Gary? One more.
Have you given up religion, Gatford?
One more and you're out. Or it sounds like he's dived into religion even more. Am I right, guys? One more and you're out.
I'm not saying I condone it. I'm just asking the question.
Can I bring us back from this brink that Gatford is
Please
taking?
do, mate.
So something happened to me today, which I thought only happened in cartoons. I walked literally into a lamppost.
Hey!
I've done that.
I thought you were going to say
looking at my phone.
Did you leave a face-shaped mark?
And it's really painful.
There was no one around, fortunately. Because it was also, I was walking out of the school having done mentoring, so it was like school kick-out time. And as I looked around, I was like, really hope there's no kids around. But no, I was fine.
Do you know we got Oedipus Ford and Glitterford and Edgeford. There we go. That's a good one. Do you know who the worst? Television is a soulless, awful, terrible, evil place. Do you know who are the most evil people in television? I will tell you. They are the producers and the cameramen that when it is icy out, go and start set up their camera on the edge of a street where they know people are going to fall over, and they start filming. Those are the worst people known to mankind.
Don't they go out the night before and hose the streets down so that
it's nice and slippery?
Can we have the American producers who send the weather people out into the hurricanes to that list?
Yes.
But then the opposite of that is the people who Andy Peters works for and must have information on, who ITV had just happened to do some sort of competition about going to South America, and he gets flown out there to do quarter.
I know, it's money for old rope.
Because I was there. I was at Good Morning Britain when he was doing those, and I said to someone, "What is going on with that?" And apparently, he is quite wealthy. Right, he doesn't need the work, but he likes the fame, and so I think he does it for like next to nothing. And he does it because really,
yeah. For a similar reason, I think.
And he's behind the camera as well as he produces as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he did.
And
I don't know if he does.
He's got really muscly.
Yeah, he's buff.
Didn't he used to be in the broom cupboard?
Yes.
Yeah, with Ed the Duck.
It's come a long way.
I'm trying to find. Did anyone see the clip? I won't find it on Twitter because Twitter's absolutely shagged at the moment.
Did you see the clip of David Turner's appearing in Thomas the Tank Engine?
Yes, I did.
Since they've changed Twitter to that mentions and following thing, I've given up with it.
It's bloody awful.
It's ridiculous.
It's a nightmare. It's glitchy. It's crashing. People have been getting messages saying they've used up their tweet limit.
Yes, I had that yesterday, and I barely follow anyone.
Have you seen this? I'm going to share this. This is going to be a little bit tricky to set up. Hang on a second, because
it was about sending tweets, wasn't it? Isn't the limit 25,000 in a day or something?
It was something like that, but I couldn't add any more followers. And then I read the instructions. It said, "Oh well, it depends on how many how many followers you have." And I thought, well, I've got quite a lot of followers compared to the number I follow.
You seen this tornado during a football game? Anyone else see this?
No.
This is nuts. Look at this. And my thought was I would so run into the centre of that. Right?
Don't do that.
But look at
that's really don't do that.
I totally would. Would you get sucked off if you went in?
You'd get sucked up.
Yeah.
Isn't that? That's
what
the most.
team is it playing for?
The referee.
It's bloody it's Roadrunner, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's got no shirt on, so it can't be.
Isn't that the most? I could not stop watching this.
Aren't they nonchalant? I'd be legging it, just standing there watching it.
I couldn't stop watching it.
I remember when I went to America in like '97, and I was in a hotel room, and then they broke in on a programming to show you that there were tornadoes in Florida. And they were literally following which street it was on. Yeah. Like they were saying, if you live on South Street, please evacuate.
Right, what's happening with that car?
Does it follow the road system then? It kind of gets to a crossroads.
Well, yeah, I don't know whether it was that, but like, they were like, if you're in South Street, and I was thinking, how big, how small, and how detailed. Well, why can't they do something about it if they know exactly where it is?
I remember
it's just wind.
Well, yeah, but Trump wanted to nuke one, didn't he? So
I remember being in Japan, and with my fiance then, and we went out to this tiny village that was quite high north because there was a big festival going on. So we went to this tiny village, and we had to go on this train that was on this really narrow track by a river, and it was not very pleasant. It was really windy and wet. And then as we got there, she went into the bathroom and I was watching the news and the weather came on. I went, oh, they're showing where we are. They've zoomed in on that. And then it started flashing red. A siren went off and it kept saying, super tornado, super tornado. I went, oh, shit. And I think in the end, it just went around the village. It just
she's
moved
in the safest
over a few
place
miles.
in the bathroom.
But it was so wet and it was terrifying, really terrifying.
My sister used to live in San Francisco, and whenever there was something like that, usually what's it called? Earthquake. It was go and sit in the bathroom.
Right.
That was the trick.
There's if there was a thing on Twitter, I think it was actually on TikTok. They've now developed these beds for earthquake centers where it turns in from a double bed and puts you inside the bed to protect you from earthquakes. So it kind of moves the bed into like a box, so that you can stay in there during earthquakes.
Or just buries you if you die.
Well,
just becomes a coffin.
Yeah.
Simon
But apparently
LeBon
it works when buildings collapse. They've recovered, and I know this is in the news at the moment. So it's been proven that these machines keep people alive in like devastated buildings.
Not in Turkey, you don't.
Well, that's what I wasn't going to say.
Yeah, sorry, that.
Oh, I just thought of another TV recommendation, by the way.
Oh, good.
Extraordinary.
Oh, I started watching. That was funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. Absolutely.
Where would we
hilarious.
find that, Jimbo?
It's on Disney Plus, of course.
What is extraordinary? What is it? What is extraordinary about this program?
Everyone is superhero apart from one person.
Oh, is there a guy who is super?
Disney Plus.
Is there? Is there one where his super? His super ability is he can make PDF files.
Yep.
Oh no, isn't it?
Turn anything into a PDF.
Yeah.
I saw an advert for one where anyone can make a 3D image out of his bottom. Is that the same?
Yeah,
thing?
he 3D prints out of his arse. Yeah, does have to take his trousers and pants down.
How boys adjacent is it, Jim?
It's so it's completely irreverent. Is that the word? Whereas boys isn't really, is it? So it's not. It's comedy.
It's a bit more fun than the boys.
Yeah.
How can it be more fun than The Boys? The Boys is the most fun I have had in years watching a television show.
That's because you like filth, though, don't you?
This feels a bit more like Things We Do in the Shadows, that kind of level.
Is it Phoebe Waller-Bridge? Because it's the same people who did Killing Eve, isn't it? It's the same production team. It's big budget. I mean, the soundtrack's incredible.
I want to say hello to Dave, who's down at the bottom there. Hello, David.
Dave.
Hi, Dave.
The final caller to your radio career.
Yeah.
The man who ended it all.
The man who ended it all.
Beat me to the punch. I was ringing in at the same time.
I listened to these people saying good things about you, and I thought, you encouraged me to do a Twitch channel. I thought, oh, okay.
Was there not? Hang on. Did I not speak to someone? Did I not speak to Catherine after you?
No,
Catherine, then Dave.
Yeah.
Wow, Dave. Oh no, it was because you're right. Because I was aware that I wanted to play those two songs, and that actually I was out of time already. If the boss hadn't been there, I'd have stayed there for another hour. But
I mean, it wasn't like they've got anyone coming on after you. So,
but they've got to play the KLF.
You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? There was a bit. So I went out after the show. And there's Joe. There's Nia, who I've worked with on and off for, she was doing work experience at Absolute. That's how long I've known Nia for. There was Selfie, who does the sports show, and he came in just to say goodbye, which is nice. I don't know him very well. And there was my boss. And there was at one point, we're sort of talking, and it was awkward, and I think I'm going to go in a minute. And my boss had his phone, and he said, Iain, I don't want to be that guy, but could I get your lanyard, please? I thought he was going to ask for a picture, and I was also to go, yeah, sure. And can I get your lanyard?
Trevor didn't turn up then.
Trevor did not turn up.
He didn't do that farewell properly, did he?
Did you have to hand in your microphone and your radio badge, radio license?
My radio license, I'm submitting that back to the Radio Academy.
Did they say anything about Will being there?
Yeah, it was Will's idea to come in. Will got in touch and said, how would you feel if I came in for the first hour? I said, I would absolutely love it. And he checked, because he works at another radio station, and he checked with his boss, and he said, it's cool as long as you don't put it on social media. And then he got in touch with my boss, and my boss couldn't say yes. He had to go to the CEO to check that it was okay. That's the level that I was dealing with on a daily basis.
Zero autonomy for somebody who's pretty much running a radio station. That's
visually. What was Dom's tweet? Was that about him being on his own? I think I don't really remember. I think the mods know most of what it was like. It was not a fun place. It was not a fun place to work. We were not building anything. Twisty Faith says, "Can I join Zoom, please?" Yes, of course you can.
Catherine, I got as far as series 5 of American Horror Story.
Oh.
Then
is it good?
I think it's the one with when it's set in a circus.
Okay, so I'm on Asylum. So that's the second.
Asylum's good. Yeah, it's when one of the main sort of characters leaves. I just went, she stopped doing it. I just thought, it sort of went a bit weird. I think Lady Gaga's in it at one point.
Oh well, yes.
Yeah, because we watched the circus one, and then Gaga's next, isn't she? I think.
Yeah.
In the hotel one.
Yeah, and I thought,
Simon says a homeless man got me to assist with his escapology scam while folk queued for the ferry to Alcatraz. What a strange. I've obviously missed some of the chat there, but what a.
Was that because Kath mentioned San Francisco?
If you went to San Francisco, did you see the Bushman? There's a question.
We can wait.
Well, we had a man who lived on the ring road in Wolverhampton for years. But he was Polish, apparently.
Well, this man disguises himself as a plant and sits himself on the sidewalk, and then his whole thing is just jumping out people. Ah!
I wonder how many times a week he ends up in hospital.
It's quite a big fella. I think he'd be all right.
Oh, okay.
We went to Alcatraz, and there was a guy there who had been a prisoner and was selling a book. And in there, it's like how he was part of. Essentially, he robbed a bank and attempted murder and all sorts. And then the book is about how he's then allowed to adopt 14 or foster 14 children once he gets out and all sorts. And it was only after when I had my picture taken with him, I was like, I don't know that this is what I'm going to cherish, really.
Simon Le Bonbon says, I bought that book. Jim Quinlan.
That reminds me, Alcatraz, another terrible TV series that went nowhere. It was after Lost, and it was about they went into Alcatraz, and like 50 of the worst inmates like came back in time or something.
Oh yes, I vaguely remember that.
It was like it started off really good, and then about 3 episodes in, you realise they had no clue what to do with it.
There was loads of stuff like that when they didn't. The guy who played Hurley went and did something else that had a very similar.
Yeah, Flash Forward was another one. I loved that for about.
What was? Oh God! I knew all their names. What was his name? Ben.
Yeah, Ben from Lost. Yeah,
Ben from Lost. He went and did a shit series where he worked with like this psychic guy that could enter people's minds or something and solve crimes.
Person of interest.
Person of interest. Yeah.
That was actually okay. That got better, and it wasn't quite that. It was technology he used. He used cameras to follow people.
No, it was crap.
Person of interest.
Faith is in the. Faith has entered the chat. Good evening, Faith.
Good evening. I just wanted to pop in and talk about some conspiracy theories that I've recently done.
I've got a conspiracy theory. It looks like. It looks like your head is wearing the microphone covering. It looks like you've got a microphone cover, or that you've drawn your hair on.
No, it does as a hat. It's a beanie.
I know it's a hat.
But yeah, no, I've recently started streaming on conspiracy theories.
Okay, go on. What you got?
We talked about aliens and how...
No, that's not. Hang on a minute. Let's talk about conspiracy theories that you've got. Aliens, as we know, is real. So okay.
And how the moon landing was staged to cover up some stuff of aliens, and also the Roswell sort of instigation of like
the moon landings? There's one thing that blows the moon landings apart is that the Russians didn't leak it. If the Russians, if it was fake, then the Russians would have had the USA for dinner. That's it.
Has Russia ever landed on the moon?
They tried to, and when Armstrong was up there, they flew like a sort of a satellite or a missile past.
So if they haven't landed on there, does that not make anyone else suspicious?
Well, what's the point if you're not first?
Yeah. That was the thing. They were the first in space, and then America beat them to being the first on the moon.
I just don't understand the sort of comparing like modern day sort of like space travel. Like, I don't understand why we wouldn't gone back to the moon straight away, like after having all of the resources. But then traveling.
But like, they did go back a couple of times.
Yeah, several times.
Yeah.
Why would you spend all that money to go back to nothing?
Yeah, money's the thing. If there's no money, if there's nothing.
It's a bit like me and Devon. Why go back there? You've been once.
I mean, they've been and played golf there. You know,
Yeah.
just one big bunker.
Driven about a bit.
Vince says, "What's the point if you're not first?" Is a fine motto to live life by.
Let's not bother.
I give you that.
Well, I don't know if anyone watches For All Mankind, which is
Hey, Ian, did you see that report?
Yeah, fuck it.
Ian, they found metal on Mars.
Oh yeah, it doesn't.
Was it a toaster? Because
was it in the shape of a remote control or something? Because this doesn't surprise me.
Or an MP3 player that we spoke about last time.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Or a Betamax.
Oh, shut up, Catherine. Interesting, Alistair. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Please keep me informed. What are you rocking backwards and forwards for? What are you doing?
I'm just excited.
Well, Ian, I did hear what they found was a old cassette player with the Brighton tape in it.
And a note that says, "Do not listen."
Yeah, it's history repeating itself. These things.
I'm really interested to hear what Dave was going to say.
Oh, you go on, Dave. What were you going to say?
No, it's
For All
fine.
Mankind.
For All Mankind's like this factual series about if Russia had landed on the moon first,
Yes, I saw that. That looked good. So it's like an alternate reality.
Yeah, so they've
vibe.
got as far as going to Mars, but it always was who's going to be the first one? Who's going to be the first one to land here and land here and land here?
Is it any good?
I like it a lot, but it is quite soapy.
It's a bit like Dallas in Space.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, maybe.
Dallas in Space.
But they always start a sort of a series with a news report covering what's happened in between because they do it in 10-year jumps.
Mandy says it's excellent. Tony says it's an amazing show. Watch it. I do like Tony's. Tony Cockbongo is the only person out of all of you lot, and including the people watching this and listening to this, whose view I respect on television shows. The only person. It's true.
Disgraceful.
Are you rejecting me as a first-class reviewer?
That's awkward, isn't it? I forgot about that.
I always make my recommendations for Catherine anyway, not you, Ian.
Exactly.
So
Has Tony appeared on over 200 episodes of an award-winning TV podcast? I don't think so.
Is Gary drunk tonight? You've been smoking crack. What is going on with you?
I appeared on... I'm just saying. Put your money where your mouth is, Colin.
Graham says...
You appeared on a podcast.
I was part of the launch and successful...
you were once on Talk Radio as a TV expert, weren't you?
I once spoke to Julia Hartley-Brewer for my sins.
Traitor.
I know, yeah. I didn't like any minute of it. But
Graham says Invasion on Apple TV is really good, very character-driven, different for an alien. That's not that old show from about 15 years ago called Invasion, is it?
No, it's a different one. It's not related at all. It's just got the same name.
We can't use the same name on stuff.
I can't.
So if you have two boys, and one is called Tim, and then the other boy's called Tim, you're fucked.
You just change it to Tom.
Okay, so you got two boys called Tom. You're still fucked, Jim. I don't understand how that makes it any better.
Tom's a better name than Tim.
I find I can't keep up with television anymore. It's just so much stuff. I keep being told to watch The Last of Us, and
I intend to.
It's apparently the best television anyone's ever seen in that.
Oh my God! We just missed a call 56 minutes ago on Skype.
From?
Guess.
Nigel.
Nope.
Yes, sir.
Nope.
A horrible man.
Narrow it down, Alistair.
Kingsman.
Oh.
I'll give you a clue.
Jonathan.
Caddick.
That's what I just said, Kingsman.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Kingsman guy, lowbrow guy, called 57 minutes ago.
Send him the Zoom link.
Was he the guy who phoned up during the Luton show?
No, that was Anonymous who phoned up during the Luton show.
I asked him if he had his mother had any kids that lived, yeah.
Let me just go here. Let me just hold the line, please, caller.
Kingsman's guy was the one that ranted from like a pub car park, or like a pub, or like a wedding or something, wasn't he? That was it. A wedding.
In front of a high fence.
There you go.
And a lowbrow film.
Wasn't the only high thing there, was it?
I am on antibiotics, so if I seem a little fast and loose, maybe that's why.
Have you eaten enough? You seem like you're having or have you eaten too much? You seem like you're having a hyper.
No, I'm not. I haven't. I've been very measured with my eating the last couple of days. I've been trying to be really good, so maybe I haven't eaten enough. You're right. I need to take my blood sugar.
Yeah.
Come on,
So
give
it's
us a
like,
live reading.
It's
Do a
like
live
Snickers
reading.
advert. You won't like Gatford when he's hungry.
Has he turned into Joan Collins or Elton John?
Oh, he's got the posh implant, hasn't he? Yeah, I forgot that.
14.1.
That's a
So
bit
it's
high.
It's a bit high, but it's coming down. It says so.
Well, it's 200% of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not in that kind of. I'm not in the 6 level. I'm in the 9 level.
Oh, okay.
So,
I have
but
just
yeah,
sent Lowbrow
high,
the
so
Zoom
I do
link.
need to. I will do another. It's probably the antibiotics, Jim.
Yeah.
They do raise your blood sugar.
I was
I've just
wondering,
started. I've just started having
Yes.
Valley Cat as well. So
Oh yeah, I love
I
it.
was wondering, Catherine, what were your reflections on Gay Paris?
Well, it was a proper. I haven't been there for 20 odd years since I lived there because of various things that happened there that I obviously was more upset by than I realised. I had not turned down opportunities to go, I just hadn't gone out of my way to go. And it was incredible actually because I went back to my old flat and stood outside, stood in the doorway, stood outside, had no intention of going in. And then I went to the.
Was that stressful though, going back there? Or...
Do you know what the part where my heart was bumping was walking down the street from the metro station.
Yeah.
So that's where I'd got followed, and then I got pushed into that doorway. So that was the moment. But I kind of felt like I reclaimed it, and from the moment we got there, actually, I felt more okay. Hello. Okay.
Wow.
Mummy's talking.
Oh, is that a human?
No, it's Yoko. Hang on. I felt more okay with it than I thought I would. I thought I'd be a lot more. She is. Yoko's been weeing at the bottom of the stairs because I went away. How dare I? And then I went to the patisserie opposite the flat, and we got cakes, didn't we? And we sat on the steps of the church opposite the flat and ate cake.
I had flan. So many flans over the weekend.
That felt like a good way to close the circles. Like, right, there we go. Come back. We survived it. It's all good. And this time I've got cake, so that was all good. And we went to some amazing places, and it kind of hit home with me how little I'd actually seen of Paris while I was there, because I was going to college and, we didn't have a lot of money, and it's not the sort of place where you can go out the way we used to when we were at university here. And so, Iain did say, oh, do you want to go? You've probably been there. And I went, I haven't been there. I've walked past there. I've been on the way to somewhere else, Sacré-Cœur. We went up to the Dome, and I said, I don't think I've ever been inside here. So no, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And it felt like a real milestone in my life. The day that we were going back to the flat is the day I said to Iain, I'm having a bit of an existential crisis about this, because it's been 20 odd years. And when I was there, I was like 20. And I've got this horrible voice in my head that says it's all been a waste of time. But I know it's not true, but that's what's there. I was about to embark on everything at that age, and what's been the point is what that shifted. And it was brilliant.
Good for you though.
It was
Good
necessary. It blew out the cobwebs and slayed a lot of ghosts that I didn't realize were hiding in the corners. It was that moment. Iain said, how'd you feel about it? I said, I feel like I've looked under the bed and there isn't a monster. And the monster was a lot bigger in my head than it actually was. And the city was smaller than I remembered. People were nicer. Probably got to do with the fact that now I'm a 45-year-old woman and not a 20-odd-year-old kid with no money. And we were staying in nice places and going to, nice places. And but yeah, it was like it was so different. I remember it being really hostile. And we went on the metro. And that was a moment to go back on, because I was on that metro all the time, and some really dodgy things happened to me. It's the point where I didn't wear a skirt for the entire time I was there because I didn't want anyone's bloody hand up my skirt. I wore a skirt all weekend. I went on the metro, knew exactly where I was going. And the weird thing was as well that I kept kind of falling back into my old footsteps. We went for a walk when we first arrived and ended up right outside my old college, and I'd not meant to do that. And it wasn't on purpose, because when I lived there, I had a metro card, so I went everywhere by metro. So I don't think I really understood where things were in proximity to each other. So when we started walking, I went, oh my God, I think I know, we need to go over this bridge. And there I went, oh my God, it's so much smaller than I remember.
Is it like the London Underground, where actually things are a lot closer than the stations actually appear?
Yes.
Like,
and
no one would ever get a train from Charing Cross to Embankment. It's literally about 50 yards, but no one knows that if they don't.
And I think I was thinking why it was like that, and I think it was because I was a 20-odd-year-old kid, never lived in a big city, and it's like, right, where do I need to go to? Here's the safest way. I get on there, and then I'll end up there. And so I didn't explore to the extent that I felt free to this time around. But I feel so much better having gone, and I'd really like to go back again. I used to love Paris before I lived there. Loved it. I was obsessed with it. You know, to the point where I used to save up my pocket money from when I was 13 to be able to pay for my own trips. I used to go on the plane by myself.
Wow.
And be met the other
that
side
much
by
of piss last time you were there.
It stank of piss last time. That thing's not changed.
That was the case when I went there, though. I remember that. It was not a nice smell at all.
But I saw less of the piss making equipment than I did the first time around, so that's always got to be a bonus. I said bonus.
You enjoyed the Delgados, you two, by the way. I didn't see you. Oh.
Yes.
Loved it. Delgados in Brighton. Absolutely loved it. It was, that was a real.
I thought the sound was on. They obviously, really rehearsed, but they really had rehearsed. It was.
Yeah.
Nice little string quartet. Always lifts it. Always lifts it.
Yeah, I think they might. I think they've announced some gigs in Glasgow for the summer. So
they obviously loved it, didn't they?
Yeah,
they were obviously very moved by the whole experience.
I like the guy who heckled when he first came on. What kept you?
Yeah. Nadine Dorris is standing down at the next election. You fucking coward.
What will we do?
You coward.
As someone who lives in
put her in the House of Lords, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Probably. As someone who lives in a constituency, I doubt we'll see any difference.
What a coward.
She'll be getting her job on Talk TV or GB News.
Well, she's on Talk TV.
Yeah, but she'll get a proper... She's just doing cover, isn't she?
No, she's got a show.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
I thought
didn't she?
Other stuff she did.
Yeah.
What coward. You cowards. All of them jump in ship. You get squirreling away everything they can and then jump in ship.
Johnson will go as well.
Well, some people have suggested that she's standing down so that Johnson can take her seat and then she gets a peerage or something. I don't know. I hate them all.
I'm sure he'd love.
He would love Nadine Dorris' seat. He's probably been there. Let's be honest.
No.
But back to Paris. It was a blast. Catherine is fluent in French, so you did all the talking.
Yeah.
How did you find the speaking French?
Came back really quickly.
Yeah.
Came back really quickly. The first day, I was a bit. I felt quite rusty, and Spanish kept trying to pop out whenever I spoke French. But then I just got used to it, and I think again because people were so nice. It was. I really enjoyed it. I really like to go back. Not necessarily to Paris, but to France again. I think I'm ready.
I was going to ask you, Ian. You must have been really annoyed. Were you really annoyed when you got the alcoholic mocktail?
Oh, yeah. So we went the first night there. We went to a restaurant, and as often the case, you end up somewhere far more expensive than you can actually afford.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered a mocktail, as I occasionally do, and it wasn't a very nice one. And I had 3 big slurps, and I said to Catherine, "This hasn't got. This tastes funny. It's not got booze in, has it?" Catherine had some and went, "No, I don't think it's got booze in. I think it's just aniseed. It had that kind of bitter taste."
It didn't taste massively boozy.
No. So I had a couple more slurps, and the guy came and took it away and said something. I said, "What did he say?" And she said, "Oh, he's giving you the wrong one. He's giving you the one with booze in." So then another one came. It tasted exactly the same to me. I was slightly nervous about drinking it, but it tasted exactly the same to me. But it did. I didn't get drunk. It didn't activate the must get more booze. I'm not 100% sure it did have booze in there.
So you've only got Catherine's word for this.
Yes.
Because she was the only one who could understand the waiter. So
he did.
If that's the better option, what did he actually say? I'm pissed in that one.
I did feel a bit sick afterwards, but I think it was the cod because I'm not very good with fish. So I think it's the fish, but I did have a bit of an upset stomach afterwards. Maybe it was that. Certainly don't consider it a relapse. It's not a relapse.
No.
It hasn't awoken, it's not turned me into Mr. Hyde. But I probably won't order mocktails again, I think is the lesson from that, which is a shame because I quite like them, but it's not the end of the world to not have a mocktail. It's
don't order a mocktail from the French.
Certainly not from the bloody French, But yeah, maybe that was what gave me an upset stomach. I don't know.
But you hadn't been well the day before, had you?
When I've been in a pub with a mate who's having a beer and stuff, and I've occasionally smelt bitter, and that's given me a bit of a sick feeling.
Right.
Because I'm averse, I don't, averse to it now. But yeah, so no, I just wondered. So
yeah, that was
it's fine. It happened. I'd rather it hadn't happened, but it's okay. It's okay.
Could I ask about your incident with recording someone who had proposed to his girlfriend?
Oh yeah, it was the whole weekend was full of adventures. So we went on, like a cruise up the Seine. 90-minute cruise up the Seine, and it was nighttime. It was like 7 o'clock, 6:30, something like that. It was dark, it's bloody cold, and we're sat on the top. And before we moved off, I said, I'm going to go down and I'll go to the bar and get some drinks. And so I went down, and the guy in front of me, who's with his girlfriend, came down as well, and we were chatting. And at the bar, they said, can you come back in a few minutes? I went, yeah, sure. And so I went upstairs, and then he kind of tapped me on the shoulder. He said, excuse me, my name's Sean, and I'm going to propose to my girlfriend at the end of the trip, and I wondered if you would mind if I gave you my phone, would you film it? And I was like, whoa, yeah, this is the coolest thing ever. And we chatted a bit, and he's from Atlanta, and her name, I think, was Tenya. I think her name was Tendra. And so we're up there. But then the whole trip I'm worrying, oh, shit, I mustn't mess this up. Does he want portrait or landscape? Oh, my God, if I get this wrong, what if she says no? So anyway, he went down about half an hour later, and I went down. I said, portrait or landscape? He said, portrait, of course. I went, okay, fine. And we chatted, and then he was sat in front of us, and me and Catherine were watching him, and he was so not taking in any of the journey because he was obviously really nervous.
He's having a lovely time, and
as the ship turned around, as we got another 45 minutes to go, you can see he's panicking, and then just as we turned around to dock, he kind of tapped me and gave me his phone, and then as he stood up, I stood up to film the Eiffel Tower, and then I kind of put the phone on them, and he got down and proposed to his girlfriend, and she said yes, and there was a nice round of applause, and it was a lovely, lovely moment, and it was very exciting to be a part of it, and it was weird.
His phone back.
Huh?
When he said portrait, I went, sorry, mate.
Sorry, I can't do this shit.
Dave, I filmed it in landscape because I thought at some point he's going to recognise his error.
Yeah.
And he was sensible enough to do it like as you were coming back into dock, so that if she did say no, you went. It wasn't
going to be a long
45 minutes.
Yeah, it was lovely. They were a very lovely couple. It was a wonderful engagement ring. He got down. There was a smattering of applause. I thought there could have been a bit more applause. I thought it would have been nicer, but there was a smattering and people congratulate. And it's weird being that close to seeing someone being that surprised by something. It was lovely. Yeah, it was lovely. So it was a trip full of adventures. That being pulled up on stage for the comedy.
Being tricked into boozing.
Tricked into booze.
Being tricked into watching Gerard Butler.
Oh, it's Dan says, just reminded me of when I filmed the start of a proposal on selfie mode and had to quickly get him to stop so I could flip it. You're just a joke, right? That's a joke. That never happened.
That reminds me of that video of the Irish dad who decided that he was going to film his whole trip to Las Vegas, and he had a selfie stick. It was always on selfie mode.
Have you seen that, guys? And it's just him. It's just him going, oh, there's the Sands Hotel, there's that, but it's just him the whole time.
I've seen someone who's done that at a wedding video.
Right. Yeah.
So like they're supposed to be at the end of the aisle recording the bride, and it's just them reacting.
Oh, it's Dan says, no, it happened at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Thankfully, he was only on the preamble.
It's different, isn't it? Paris or Blackpool, please.
Both.
Well, same tower, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
People will do
Blackpool
reaction
very
videos
Paris
to
of the
anything now,
North.
aren't they?
Tony says, I proposed to my wife in public on the top of 30 Rock in New York. I was worried about bystanders watching my public display of affection. Absolutely no one batted a bloody eyelid. Well, that's awful. You got to have a round of applause, a little cheer. You know, you got to have.
My abiding memory of Paris when I went was that we went to Notre Dame. This was before the fire, and there were women there with beards, like long bits of hair coming like sideburns. And it was just the most bizarre thing.
Gosh.
I remember they were the
special women of Notre Dame.
I don't know. There were students and stuff and everywhere, but like it must have been a fashion thing 20 years ago or something. It was bizarre.
Lorenzo says, lose the Plotford. Or lost the Plotford. Yeah, okay.
Well.
Don't know how to process that information.
Well, I would ring a radio station, but you know, there's none left.
So this is what you've done to him, Ian.
No, he has to bring
one
it
day.
here.
One day.
Yes.
Oh, it's Dan says, Gatford Tonight is like the wild card that ends up on Graham Norton's couch every Friday.
I'm
His legs are in the air by now.
Ah, dearie me. Dearie me. It's
Yeah,
all...
so Paris, in summary, brilliant, still smells of piss. There is a film, isn't there, called Paris When It Sizzles? It's Paris When It Piddles.
I love Ian's explanation for that.
What explanation?
What that you said that basically they weren't bombed in the war because they were,
It's true.
because they gave up.
No, that's why the rooms are all small. That's the truth.
They still got the old buildings. They didn't get bombed out, did they?
Yeah, they were too busy sucking up to the Nazis.
Yes, whatever you say, monsieur.
The cowards. Coward of the
And
county.
then, of course, they let us see him off, and then they all came out from underneath their tables and said, and don't come back. But de Gaulle didn't like being reminded of that, did he?
But do you feel you've slayed a few demons, Catherine? Was it cathartic for you?
Yes. I don't think I'd appreciated how frozen in time I'd been. And it was only going back, I went, oh my God, it's not as big, it's not as scary, it's not as hostile, it's not as, you know, I just swerved it for 20 odd years. Imagine a whole place because of a couple of dickheads. But I suppose that's self-preservation, isn't it? And when you're 20 and on your own.
But that's, in a sense, that's normal as well.
Yeah.
It's not abnormal at all.
Yeah. You know, you don't have to go. Why would you? Why would you put yourself in that position ever again? And I guess that's the tack I'd taken. But actually, you know, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't. Well, no, I went back when I needed to go back. That's the thing. I went back when I was ready. It's just a shame it's taken this long, really. That is what it is.
Plus, you can get loads of baguettes in.
Oh my God, so good.
Baguettes. We had the food was great. We didn't really eat that much because we found a nice little cafe where we get a lovely little French breakfast of a croissant, some bread, some butter, and some jam, and a coffee and an orange juice, and that kind of kept us going for the whole day. Le petit déjeuner. And boy, oh boy, we walked. The most we walked one day, we walked 19,770 steps.
Double that for me.
The least we walked was 16,500 steps.
Yeah.
So bloody hell.
Not asking for the name of the hotel, but whereabouts in Paris did you stay?
Opera.
Right.
So it was you know, where I lived before. Ian, I don't know what you thought. It was a lot more maybe urban. Whereas Opera is, you know, kind of shishi near Place Vendôme and all the designer shops and stuff.
Is that a bit like if the last exposure I had to Paris was Emily in Paris?
So you haven't ever seen Paris then? I couldn't watch that when it first came out because I was like, this is utter shit. It's actually a really hard place to live in, and there she is swanning about. But then I really enjoyed it because it's just daft.
We've had the first 2 seasons on
We went up La Tour Eiffel, but you can only go up to level 2 because the top was shut.
They're tarting it all up for the Olympique
Yeah.
next year.
And the weird thing is that's nowhere near anything else, is it? The Eiffel Tower's right out on the west, isn't it? But it's nowhere near anything.
I have spent 20 years like watching things like not that I've been watching this for 20 years, but you know, you watch things, Americans' impressions of what Paris is like, and it's like, oh, Eiffel Tower, Les Invalides, all the things, and I've been poo-pooing it. Do you know what? It is like that. It's like they went, we've got all these brilliant things. What should we do with them? Just dump them there. We're here anyway. It's like it is all that close together. I was amazed. You can see Sacré-Cœur and you can see La Défense and you can see all these things, and they are quite close together. It's all walkable. If you don't mind doing 20,000 steps a day.
We did walk a lot. I took the wrong shoes for walking.
Yeah. It was good though, wasn't it?
Your boots.
It was all right,
good,
wasn't
though. We went, where did we go? Oh, when we went to the place where it was like Fondue Street, because he'd said, oh, I really fancy going to a fondue restaurant. I was thinking, I don't think I've ever seen one.
And then we ended up on Fondue Street. We didn't get one in the end, but we ended up on Fondue Street. Every restaurant was a fondue.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we didn't
fondue
get
was more
one.
of a Swiss. I thought fondue was more of a
I
Swiss.
did.
We go to Fondue Street. There's Fondue Street. There's one street we walk past
back in the 90s. So
one street we walk past 25 fondue restaurants at least.
Wow.
Yeah, they fondue. It turns out quite a lot.
But unfortunately, we fondant. We fondant.
You were sick of cheese by then, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had some cheese board and it made me ill. Yes, Alistair.
I was put off going to France, well, to Paris actually, no, Paris specifically, because I watched 2 seasons of Spiral, and I thought,
oh gosh, yeah,
it's a bit violent, all that thing going on there. Did you see any violence when you were over there?
Bonjour, Circuit Boga, by the way. Did we see any violence?
Yeah.
Not when we went, but Catherine was, sexually.
Oh no, of course.
I don't know what the word. I don't want to use the word assaulted because that perhaps gives a different implication. But was that word fits perfectly. It's not mine to use though. But we didn't see any violence when we were there. Everyone was really nice. Welcome, Pedal Pill.
That's good.
Everyone was really nice to us. Is Catherine frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. Now the show starts. Now we got a show.
So what really happened in Paris, Ian? Come on. Tell us.
Okay, let me tell you guys. It was insane.
I love the way that you had to explain that joke when you did it on the air.
What joke did I have to explain?
The insane joke.
Oh, the insane. Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't realise I was doing that then. She's back.
Not going to being frozen in time.
We cannot see you.
No, you can.
Well, there she is. Oh. Yeah, it was good. It was a brilliant time. Loved it. It's called living. Couldn't really afford it. Couldn't care less. You got to do these. You got to do these things. Because you could die. You could die tomorrow. So it was absolutely wonderful. The tickets were kind of cheap because I booked them ages ago. I think they were like 50 or 60 quid each way or something, which is nothing really.
Did you fly or Eurostar?
Eurostar. Considering you get a ticket to Liverpool, it's 250 quid or whatever. So it was affordable. We got a cheap hotel. All the hotels, are tiny in Paris because of the whole thing about them not being on. Cheap hotel and
but central to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I was going to plan something with like a group of my college mates, where would you say the prime spot within Paris would be? Like what hotel and stuff would you recommend for easy access to
that place was great, and I found that through, I think I looked on Trivago.
You just look for cheap French hotels and look for somewhere central. So they have different areas. Ours was this opera place. That was great. That was really central. The hotel was it was a few hundred quid. It was kind of mid-price. I would suggest ours.
It was a 3-star apparently.
Dave's had to go. What? Dave and Jim both disappeared quickly. I wonder what's going on. Yeah, it was a mid-price, mid-tier hotel. But when I go abroad, I don't really give a shit about the hotel. Has it got a bed? Has it got a shower? That's all I want because I'm going to be sleeping there and might go back for a little siesta. But I'm not going to be spending
money
the
on
time
lunches and day
exactly.
trips and
I'm
things,
not there
you know?
to spend time in a hotel. I'm going to be.
I
I'm asleep.
went when it was in my early 20s, and we stayed in the Latin Quarter, and there was lots of nightlife. There was lots of stuff open late. So if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, is that near Notre Dame, isn't it, Kath? That Latin
That's
Quarter,
either well, that's
south
either
of the river.
I used to live near the Latin Quarter, and I can verify for that. So where I used to live was in the 13th, and it was Place d'Italie, and it was near Chinatown. But everywhere is generally walkable.
Okay.
Where I wouldn't stay, I mean, I'm remembering places that were rough in the 90s, and everywhere seems a lot cleaner, apart from the smell of piss, which does seem to be quite persistent.
Caterfer says they love a fondue and a raclette in France. I don't know what a raclette is.
It's just a different kind of cheese.
Okay,
I think is fondue not is raclette not with bread dipped in it rather than meat?
I don't know. I thought that was a
takes
fondue.
me back to my days of Asterix. I think that's the Asterix, isn't it?
Fucking hell! They while we were there, there were posters everywhere for a new Asterisk and Obelisk film, and it's just like France, get over it. Although we saw the trailer for it, it looked quite good, but
it did look better than the one we were watching.
They are boring characters. I remember having to read the comics because we didn't have anything else to read, so you had to read Asterisk and Obelisk. Boring.
And Tintin. That same sort of thing.
But Marion Cotillard's in it, as is what's his name? The guy who was with the big nose.
Depardieu?
No,
he's the persona non grata now.
He has played Obelisk in a film.
Isn't he a Russian citizen now?
Yeah.
Roger
is it Daniel Artois? I think his name is. Who was in it?
Anyway, it certainly looked better than.
It was more believable than what Gerard Butler was doing. Let's be honest.
I liked it. I laughed a lot.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah,
did you?
I saw. I'm going. Yeah.
That surprises me because that does not seem like a Dave Dogface film.
No, I've got Odeon Limitless, so I go and see it.
Go and see everything. So didn't you notice though that if he'd have sat tight, you'd have been off straight away?
And I like the fact, not a spoiler at all, that one of the henchmen gets hit by the wheel of the aeroplane.
Yeah. But
I wanted a doing sort of thing.
What was, and I don't listen, we're going to spoil Mayday. I think they spoilt it by making it. What was that evil lair that the heads of the airline trail finders, they were sat in like an evil lair, and they get in this fixer. He says, okay, we're going to have to get mercenaries to go in and rescue them. This is strictly off the record. I need you to get me $1 million. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and they're carrying around $500,000 in cash just in a bag.
And it's mercenaries.
Which they just leave to one side at one point. It's like, leave the £500,000 over there.
Just leave it in the boot.
I want to see the sequel, though. I want to see the sequel with the guy that nicked the money, the fugitive. I want to watch his movie as he escapes off the island.
I saw the Knock at the Cabin this week. Yeah.
Just yay or nay? Because
I'm not a fan of. I used to like M. Night Shyamalan films, but I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Is that the one with Dave Bautista in it?
Yes,
yeah. Okay, I'm going to see that. Of course, the Mayday was called Plane, wasn't it? Over
Plane,
here?
Yeah,
I thought it was a different title.
They were going to call it something else, but Gerard Butler insisted on calling it Plane.
Plane, and boy, oh boy, it was very.
It reminded me of the Wild Geese. Remember those sort of films in the 1970s that were utter crap, but
Vince Caramel says, have you seen Only Murders in the Building? That is my official Vince Caramel trademark recommendation. Saw season 1, loved it. Started season 2, didn't go back after the first episode. It just didn't connect.
I didn't like season 2.
It didn't hit right. There was no sort of carrying on of like the really mysterious like murderer, like interesting, like
it felt different, right, Faith?
It just wasn't it. It wasn't it. They should have just kept it as a season 1 and then just finished it.
I think you're right. It's a self-contained story. Cara Delevingne I don't find particularly watchable, and I didn't really like her character, and one episode I thought, nah, this isn't the same show.
No, it was very different.
I hadn't bothered.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there we go. Before we book you all out, has anybody... Go on, Faith, you're going to say something.
I was going to carry on the talk with the conspiracy
Oh,
theory.
yeah, go on, because, yes, we jumped off that. Go on.
And I was recently talking about vampires on the stream before I came and joined you guys.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like specific celebrities and how they don't age, and the theory of like, oh, their partners are so coincidentally younger than they are, and then like they disappear within like a few weeks. How do they not age? And there's the connection. And like we're
so
just
Leonardo
going around.
DiCaprio, then that's why he hangs around with somebody.
Yeah. I think one of my friends mentioned Paul Rudd and Keanu Reeves for a non-aging.
I think Keanu's starting to look older.
Yeah, I agree with Paul Rudd, but not Keanu. He's starting
to growing a bigger beard, isn't he, as he gets older?
I wish that they would stop dyeing Keanu's hair. It's getting ridiculously dark for a man of his age.
I saw a tweet.
You know, he was in Tring over the weekend.
Was he? Oh, yeah. I did know that. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. There was someone did tweet that DiCaprio's latest girlfriend, her schooling was impacted by COVID.
Yeah.
I'm not much a fan of Gervais's comedy when he does those award shows, but the one when he said about DiCaprio, when he said like he after watching the really long film that he was in with the Pacino and De Niro were in, the one that was on Netflix,
Gangs of New York.
No,
The Irishman.
The Irishman. That by the time that film ended, he had to split up with his girlfriend because she was too old for him.
And then we also did somewhat of pyramids and stuff like that, and how like certain things are lined up within like the equator of Earth, and like and the mystery is like, how did they actually move the blocks onto like the certain positions?
I've got a trivia question. Where in the world are the most pyramids?
Mexico.
Mars.
No, it's a country in Africa. I believe it's Rwanda. It's not Egypt, and it's not Mexico. It's not like South America.
But we were also talking about
It
like
may not exactly be Rwanda, but it's somewhere.
It's Sudan, you massive racist. It's
Well,
Sudan.
that's very close to. I've got the right continent.
But yeah, no, we were talking about the whole sort of slope thing that they would have to like move up on, and how would that be structurally sort of stable with the resources and the planning of that, and we also went into like Aztecs and their sort of
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Aztecs invented the camera. Am I right, Dave?
I'm
right, Dave?
Yeah.
That's a joke for old people who know the band Aztec Camera.
That was one of my very first nicknames, Gaztec Camera. I'm going to go. All right, I'm just going to leave. All right, I'll see you later.
I just want to say R.I.P. to Burt Bacharach, who died today.
Oh yeah, what? Rip Burt Bacharach, rip. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He was one of those people you thought, you've had the best goddamn life. I think he just lived in LA all the time, and
he must have had so much putang.
Absolutely. Everything.
Dave, can I just ask you, the album behind your head with the woman on it, what album is that, please?
That's Sandy Denny's Sandy, if it's that one.
Yeah.
That's Sandy Denny.
It's a great cover. Great picture of her.
Sandy Denny was in Fairport Convention, and
she did some work on Led Zeppelin 4.
Yeah, she's on Led Zeppelin 4 and the Battle of Evermore.
Yeah. Great singer.
Quite a tragic story, but I'm massively into Sandy Denny at the moment. So.
Also, I see Pacific Ocean Blue over your left shoulder.
I bought that in Dublin when I was in Dublin.
Which is a great record. I don't think it's quite as great. There are. It's for me. It's very much. It's very much of a sound.
Yeah.
All the way through. There's very little variation. Yeah. But the River song, the first song, is just wow, flipping heck. And then there's some great stuff on it. I don't think it's quite.
Oh, it's not what what they try and make it out to be.
What's the there's a really clumsy. I think it's called the song Pacific Ocean Blue. The lyrics written by Mike Love. It's a clumsy ecological song. We live on the edge of a body of water whose something is warmed by cold-hearted slaughter. Better wonder how she feels, Mother Seal. It's no wonder the Pacific Ocean is blue. That's a line, right?
Have you seen that Long Promised Road film?
No, I can't. I hired it for a night on Amazon. I watched 5 minutes and thought, this looks crap.
Do not watch it.
Brian Wilson
the most upsetting film. I don't watch it.
The bit I saw that put me off, and I don't know if it's in the film or it's an extra. So it's Brian Wilson being driven around by the director of the thing.
He's a Rolling Stone journalist, that guy.
Right. Years and years ago, in the early 70s, they had a manager called Jack Riley who tried to make them hip again when they weren't. And he was a bit controversial, but he was a big part in their career from about 70 to 73. And they're driving around, and the guy goes, yeah, so Jack Riley died. And Brian Wilson's like, what? Yeah, Jack Riley. Jack? He's dead?
Yeah.
And then you can see him getting visibly upset.
He starts crying, yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, what is it? He says, put on It's Okay by the Beach Boys.
Yeah, it seemed to be all through the film. He was asking to play that again and again.
Was it just that song?
Yeah. They take him to say, we can go to Carl's house. And he's like, I don't really want to go. And said, do you want to come in? He just says, no, I'll stay in I don't want to go and see where my brother lives.
Caterer says that sounds as good as Mike Love's COVID hit. Oh, I forgot about his COVID song.
No, I advise you not to go anywhere near that. It really
There's also
me.
he's played Pacific Ocean Blue, which is presented as the first time he's heard it, but it's not the first time he's heard it. He's talked about it in the past.
Yeah, it's a very horrible film.
They filmed a tribute to a Grammy tribute to the Beach Boys last night. I have no idea what that looks like or what that's going to be. I imagine it'll be shit. I don't know what that'll look like, but we'll.
Speaking of shit,
yes.
Talk us through the new Alan Partridge.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I started.
So Prime, flicking through Prime. Oh, it's Stratagem, Alan Partridge, the live show he did. And I thought, well, the live show didn't get particularly good reviews, but fuck, it's Alan Partridge. There's got to be some decent stuff. Awful. 15 minutes in, I aborted. It is awful. It's a big arena. It's at the O2, I think, and it's just this really pointless lecture. I don't even know what it is. I know he does a rap, and it's Alan Partridge by numbers. He's reading from auto cue. You're right, Edith. He's constantly looking. He couldn't be bothered to learn the show. He's reading it.
So this is why I was putting the kids to bed, and Ian went, oh, look, he sent me a message. There's a new Alan Partridge on. I went, right, I'm on it as soon as these kids are in bed.
Yeah.
So the kerfuffle upstairs died down, and I thought, right, now is the time. And I got another message. Abort. It is shit.
Ming says, oh, your kidding was going to watch that. Drucifer says, I went to see the Stratagem live after the first night. He cancelled the next two shows. Oh, it's Dan. I had tickets for it in Manchester. It was horrendous. I remember reading they were giving away 2 for 1 tickets. Started at 2, said Marcus, and give it up. And then I went on Twitter and everyone was slating it. It was awful.
I think he does that with those live shows. I went to see the tour before, whatever that was. And it just seemed really under-rehearsed. And someone talked to Henry Normal, who's worked on his stuff for ages, and he virtually said to him, he hasn't really turned up for rehearsals.
Beefy says, I watched it live and I thought it was good, but watched the recording and yikes. I saw the last tour I saw was a show of his I saw it was years ago. Was it The Man Who Knew Too Much or something?
The Man Who Thinks He's It.
The Man Who Thinks It. And I saw one of the previews at, I think it was the Old Vic. And that was great. You got your Paul and Pauline Calf, you got your Tony Farino, you got your Partridge. I think he did and it was funny. What's his Duncan Thicket? He did Duncan Thicket. And it was funny.
Did he do the health and safety guy with the
Oh, yeah. I'm bleeding radiators. I'm bleeding radiators. I'm not swearing. That's what I'm doing.
That was about 98, I think.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, don't watch it. It's a turkey, is my view. Faith, where are you doing these streams that if people want to come and argue with you about conspiracies?
It's Twisty Faith 19.
Twisty Faith.
There are some links in the promote area of your guys' Discord. So.
Can I recommend, if you're doing that, there's a series John Ronson did called John Ronson On, and he took a different thing each week. One was moon landings, one was numerology. They're really, really great. It's sort of a sitting round late at night thing. And they were fantastic.
Awesome.
Go and have some of that. Thank you, Faith. Yeah, feel free to promote that in the Discord. Put the
Can I
link in
ask
the
a
chat if you
question,
want.
please?
No, you can't, mate. Don't be so rude. Don't be
Is
so
Alistair
rude.
being silenced?
I'm silencing a white, slightly more than middle-aged man, tilting towards the end. Alistair, yes, you may. I'll give you permission.
Faith, interested in conspiracy theories. Cause,
John's put a little link for yours in the chat.
Have you got a view on the JFK assassination?
Not yet, because I haven't done research within that area. I always do somewhat of like an hour's research and write like little notes for like the stream. So I haven't got a broad understanding of where I sit with that just
Can
yet.
I tell you where you should sit?
No.
On the grassy knoll?
No, yeah, you can if you want.
Suicide.
What?
It was suicide.
That is a really, really interesting point. With the knowledge that
Suicide.
I have now,
Yep.
yeah, really
Suicide. No, why doesn't the possibility of suicide ever get talked about? Because they've silenced it.
Yeah.
They've silenced it. Oh, there was a second man. Oh, there was a third. Oh, it wasn't acting alone. Whatever. People talk about that. They don't talk about the possibility it was suicide.
I have to say, 11/22/63 is a series, I think it was, or a film.
It's a great series.
My mum and I watched, and we absolutely loved it. Definitely.
Warning:
recommend that.
it has James Franco in it. It is an excellent series. I think it's 8 episodes. It's a self-contained story. It's about a guy being sent back in time to stop the JFK assassination, or to investigate. I can't quite remember which. Brilliant time travel story. Some great theories on time travel. Very interesting
King book,
series.
isn't it?
Yes, it is a Stephen King book. Yeah, you're right. Actually,
Yeah, I've read the book. I haven't seen the series.
the series is very, very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. Hello, Pat Pats. Right, everyone, bugger off.
Okay.
Tidy bag.
Lovely to see you.
Bye.
Chowsy chow
Everyone.
chows. Chowsy chow chows. There we go. It's Alistair and Dave. It's Alistair. There we go.
It's just us. There's a frenzied grooming session going on behind my computer. So if you hear bells, it's Yoshi and Yoko bathing each other.
Hello, baby. Where is Big Boy? What have you done to Big Boy? Because he's not coming home tonight either, is he? No? Okay. They know. They know what's going on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Lowbrow Guy didn't get back. So if I make a phone call, can you hear it?
Me?
Yeah.
There's only one way to find out.
So to settings. Let's try.
It's got cold again, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's chilly. You might be in bed.
You're sniffing now.
I know.
In anticipation.
I'm high by osmosis. This is the lowbrow.
Thank you for calling KP Plumbing Emergency Plumbing Services Hotline.
Oh, he's got a funny
I can't be with you right now, but if you leave a message, I'll get back to you about early as possible.
You can't hear that, can you?
Thank you very much.
After you've finished your message, just hang up. Or to hear more options, please press 1.
Hello, mate. It's Iain Lee. We missed your call. We're having a movie night. So if you get this, give us a call before 10 o'clock. Otherwise, you can call us tomorrow evening between 7 and 10. We're just talking movies, and just wondered what your thoughts were on specific. We're kind of talking about British spy movies, but more the genre of kind of spoofing, lowbrow British spy movies. I just wondered if you had any thoughts on them. Give us a call back before 10. Otherwise, give us a call on Friday between 7 and 10. Thanks, mate. Bye. Casualty VIP says, I thought, and I can see that, I thought Catherine's mic was her knees in denim. She ain't that flexible anymore. She's an old lady.
What? Who said that?
That was, hey! Can you put it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Don't do it for those. Do that. That's for Patreon.
That's for only feet.
That. Do that for Patreon.
Mrs. Gripper in her sexy slippers.
We got a load of people watching us tonight. We've got a load of new people. Thank you. If you want to, you're here because you were reminded of me because of the news this week of me retiring from showbiz, but you're still doing a show. Well, it has many, many caveats, and I also reserve the right to completely change my mind. However, I'm not doing radio anymore. I've quit Jack FM. I'm not doing a daily radio show. I'm not chasing that. I am still doing, with Catherine, 2 shows a week that you can watch online live. You can watch them back again. And you also get a full podcast of the show delivered to your telefono. We're doing it using a system called Patreon. Hang on. Patty's purring. Thank you. Patreon is a great way to pay your favourite artists, podcasters, comedians, musicians, songwriters, to pay them directly and get exclusive stuff. So, for $4.99 a month plus VAT, you will get access to about, and we reserve the right to change it a bit, 2 3-hour shows a week, generally on a Thursday and a Friday evening. You'll also get those turned as podcasts a few days later on, delivered to your podcast device. You also get access to about 300 shows that you can watch, 300 podcasts that you can listen to, well over 1,000 hours of stuff for £4.99 a month. The money gets split between me and Catherine. I'm now a full-time counsellor. I can't quite afford to live on that money alone. So the money from this is essential, basically. And $4.99 a month plus VAT is one tier. If you felt flush for a month, you wanted to go up to £15, you get invited to at least one, generally 2 private Zoom meetings with me and Catherine and a handful of other 15-pounders. It's an hour long and we just sit and chat and you can ask us anything and it's not really a show. So go and have a little look, please. And the link is going to appear in the chat. But if you're listening to the podcast or you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put the link in the description actually. Patreon, patreon.com/Iain and Catherine. Patreon.com/IAIN and Catherine with a K. You can sign up at any point and you get a full month. You can drop out at any point. So if you want to sign up for a month and completely cane all of the podcasts, you can do that. You sign up, you watch as much as you want. Before you get to the end of the month, you cancel it so your subscription doesn't roll over. I think you get a little grace period as well. So you can just cane everything you want. Go and have a look. Patreon.com/Iain and Catherine. Thank you very much. There endeth the selleth.
Nice one.
Also, if you want to donate, you're very welcome. If you want to tip us, Quiet Bloke is a regular tippist. Some people just go, I don't want to sign up, or I do want to sign up, but I've had a good week, a good month. If you go to paypal.me/Iain Lee, paypal.me/IAINLEE, money gets split 50-50 with me and Catherine. Bishy bashy boshy. There you go.
None of it compulsory, all appreciated.
Exactly.
And you don't have to give us any explanation if you decide it's not for you.
Exactly. And we were aware that times are getting tough, although, shouldn't really be having heating on that much these days as it's getting warmer. So
it's not though. It's got bloody freezing again.
It's got bloody freezing. And there are a few people, not many. Oh, you're begging. No, we're not. We're selling you a product.
Yeah.
It's if you go and look, and loads of people are on Patreon. Stephen Page, who actually gives you a really good deal. Danny Baker, loads of people. We have been criticised by some for for including too much in the package. Because a lot of people, you'll get one podcast a week, a fortnight, a month, and you get that 6 weeks before anyone else. That's it. We think we know we give you great value for money. So thank you. Loads of new patrons in the room tonight. It is appreciated. We had a big old flurry the last few days, so thank you for that. I've seen a few of the regulars have actually upped their tierage as well. That is it. That is great. And even if you're just here watching this and you aren't a Patreon and you don't intend to be a Patreon, thank you for coming and watching this. We do 1 or 2 free shows a month just to remind people that we're here. So even if you just come and watch this, great. Click follow if you can, and that would be gratefully appreciated. There we go. That's the selling done.
Yeah, we try and do some free stuff too, because not everyone can afford it, but we would like to keep in touch. So that's the way forward, hopefully.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Have you ever used the swizzle?
No.
It's a swizzle, isn't it? That's what it's called.
The thing that they put in. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
No, I've never felt the need. I've never been in that situation. Have you?
I fucking hate Punch and Judy.
Yeah, it's not the way to do it. It's the way to end up in prison. And he did end up in prison and in hell, if I remember rightly. So
sausages, isn't it? Sausages and crocodiles and spousal abuse.
And smacking babies.
Yeah.
Feeding them to crocodiles. Smacking his wife around the head with a big stick. Killing a policeman, I seem to recall.
Yeah. It's
and
nuts.
Then the
Imagine
devil
that
comes.
was So I wonder if anyone. They should make a movie of Punch and Judy. Not the Punch and Judy Man, which is a great Tony Hancock film. They should make a movie. You'd have, I don't know, The Rock as Mr. Punchinello. I don't know. I can't think of any current female actresses.
Who is in everything at the moment? Let me think. Rita Ora.
No, I don't think she could carry off such a role. I would have The Rock, and I would have Sandra Bullock. And as the policeman, I'd have the guy, the star of Mayday. What's his name?
Oh,
Gerard
Butler.
Gerard Butler. We'll have him as the policeman. There we go. There's John.
Stanley Tucci has got to be in there as the devil.
Brand new movie starring The Rock, Mr. Punchinello. I'd have some of that. I'd have a lot of that, actually. Suddenly I think I'm onto an idea.
You better go and take it to Hollywood quick.
The Aeon King. Hey, the Aeon King. I don't know if you're in the chat, but thank you very much for your tip. That is appreciated. EDT has gifted a sub to Twisty Faith. Thank you. Aeon King, I don't know if you're here. This is a tip. I'm tipping my hat. Jack Black as the Croc. There you go. You got it.
I was thinking Jack Black, actually. I never see enough of that man.
Yeah.
He's great, isn't he?
He's the best.
I love him.
He's the best. I'm going to try and play a little bit of Counter-Strike.
Okay. I'm going to go and watch Happy Valley.
Sounds like a plan. Catherine?
Do you want to do it all again tomorrow?
You here tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Beautiful. You bringing the kids? You're on your own?
Kids are going to their dads.
Yes.
Mummy is flying solo tomorrow.
Yes, mate.
But they've been very good, and I do appreciate the fact that I live in a house where downstairs is open plan, right? These kids they've earned their allowance this week by being such good girls tonight, but don't tell them that because it's still only Thursday.
Did you notice me yawn then?
No.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to hide yawns.
Well, but I thought you'd frozen.
That's because I was yawning. People will have noticed a movement in my flabby old neck.
I did one then. I swallowed it.
I did one then.
What, a yawn?
Yeah. What's this? Holtender has put. What's this? You tell me there is a film. That link doesn't work, I'm afraid.
To Mr. Punchinello.
That link doesn't work. Punch and Judy film exists, kinda. Don't give me that kinda crap. Does it exist? Or does it not exist? Tell me the truth.
What's the truth of the matter?
IMDb, search Punch and Judy. All right.
Punch and Judy, not Punching Judy.
Remember Boxing Helena?
I remember hearing tell of it, but it was not a film I watched.
No one did. No one did. Judy and Punch? Seaside near the sea, puppeteers Judy and Punch are trying to resurrect their marionette show. No, that's not. If that's not it. If that's the film you told me, then that's not it. There's Punch and Judy, 1966. Two puppets, Punch and Joey, do battle to the death over the custody of a live. That's Schwankmajer. I don't know if you're familiar with Jan Schwankmajer. Catherine, he was very popular when I was at college. Really, 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 really creepy animation.
No thanks.
Well, I'll show you some Jan Schwankmajer in a minute. The return of there's a film called Punch and Judy from 2002. Doesn't give us any plot. So it looks like Return of Punch and Judy. I'm so sorry, mate. There is nothing here that backs up Punch and Judy. Let me just show you a little
Schwankmajer.
Little Schwankmajer. YouTube. He did. Did he do Schwankmajer? Faustus. Holy shit! The whole thing is on. The whole thing is on YouTube, right?
Right.
Faustus. God,
I thought home taping was killing cinema, but it turns out we hadn't hit the tip of the iceberg.
Here we go. It's a Zoom screen.
Schwankmajer.
Faustus. Okay, so it starts off with live action. So this is one of those European things that are weird, right?
Columbo. Got a hunch.
He did do Alice in Wonderland. So I don't remember the live action bit. Okay, let's jump forward a bit. Here we go.
Oh, what's this? Is it an eye? It's an egg.
Faustus. Oh, I might have to watch this tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
And then it all goes... Where's the animation bit? Here we go. All right, for some reason there's no animation in that. Let me just quickly watch a bit of Alice. Faustus. That looks quite good, doesn't it? Oh, this looks brilliant, actually.
What the hell? This is what happens when I get my girls to tidy their bedroom. Except when I go up, there's been no change whatsoever.
Where's the animation? He's famous for animation, and with oh, this looks brilliant. All right, I'm totally watching that. Hang on, here we go. This looks amazing.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
What's that? Is that the rabbit? Oh my god.
All right, that's getting watched tomorrow. That looks.
Alice should not have drunk that thing.
Someone says, if you like this, hang on a minute, let me just stop this. Have you seen Dave Made a Maze? I started watching Dave Made a Maze, and I didn't get into it. So it's basically a guy has built a maze in his house.
Yeah,
it's built like a den out of cardboard boxes, but once you go in it, it's like massive. And I didn't quite buy into it, but I a lot of people like it, so I'm prepared to admit I could be wrong. You know, so sometimes
it's just not the right day for it.
Sometimes it's just not the right day. Okay, we've got to do a postcard tomorrow for someone.
When you say we, you mean you'll write the address, or you'll give me the address and I'll do all the work?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
All right, Catherine's going to say goodbye. I'm going to try and play a little bit of Counter-Strike.
Goodbye.
To see how that goes. Catherine, auf Wiedersehen. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Yeah.
Goodbye. She's gone. Let me end... How do I end a Zoom meeting like that? End the meeting for all. So that's the show. Aeon King, thank you very much for that. That's the show. I'm going to try and play a little bit of Counter-Strike, but I don't really. So, hang on a minute. I just installed it. Counter-Strike. 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 This, I may get bored of this very, very quickly. Where is it opened? We'll close Skype, unfortunately. I'm going to close that. We're going to close that. Oh. Counter-Strike is in... No, I've installed it. Don't move and shoot at the same time. I appreciate the pro tip. It's now saying performing first-time setup. Installing Microsoft DirectX. Already, I am bored of this. Let's see how quick this is going to be. Where's my Xbox controller? Patty, where's my Xbox controller? This ain't it. I'm going to have some of this tonight. When I go to bed tonight. Counter-Strike. 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 Thank you, Pedal Jim. It is appreciated. I'm not going to do mouse and keyboard. Here we go. Yeah. That's actually, it's too much. It's going to give me a headache. Here we go. Oh, shoot. It's opened up on the wrong screen, and I can't see your messages that would tell me. Wait for the program to respond. All right. How do I... All right, it's open. Hang on. It's taken up the whole screen, guys. And I can't see... Right, hang on. I'm going to go into the Twitch chat on my phone. I can't hear or see anything. This isn't going to work. Right, can someone tell me how do I... It's on this full screen that controls everything. How do I get it off of the full screen? I'm watching the chat. How do I get it off the full screen? I'm watching the chat, so can someone tell me? Alt. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. No, but what that's done is that's now overlaid the shift and arrow key. Start. What do you mean start? Start. Ah, all right, hang on. There we go. No! Hang on. Let's turn this bloody sound down. Let's turn the sound down, right? Let's turn the sound down. The sound is down. I want to move screen. So how do I move screen? Start. I don't know what the... I don't have a start button. I don't have a start button. I don't have a start button on my computer. Full screen. No. Windows. What? Start is the Windows key. Okay. Well, so I just press the Windows key. What? What am I pressing? Sorry, tell me again. Alt and enter. No, none of you have got this, have you? None of you. No. The Windows key and the arrow key. No, that's not worked. No, that's not worked. I've got a Windows key. No. This is not. Can you change full screen mode to Windows? Yes, I can. But then if I put it to this window, see, then I move it to this screen over here and it doesn't fit and I can't make it smaller. This is why I don't stream video games. But change what? Let's try that. Hang on. Hang on. Come here, what have you done? What have you done? Come back, baby. Absolute piece of shit. If I do it windowed... Thank you, 11 Crazy Monkey. We got it. Here we go, look. Still doesn't quite fit in there. All right. We got something. Here we go. We got something. So, what I need is... So I got this. It doesn't quite fit in the box, though. If I go full screen, but then I can't quite... Then can't see the bottom of the... There it is. There it is. Nope. Can't, you see, it just says apply changes there, but it won't let me go to it. Nope. That's buggered it. Okay, now you're seeing pictures of my kids eating a... Alt right, Alt return. Once again, you've moved it to... So I click on that, Alt return. It doesn't do anything. So how do I make it fit this screen? Oh, how do I make it fit this screen? I'm so losing the will to live. Reduce the resolution. What would I reduce it to? I can't. Right, hang on. This music is good though, right? 1920 by 1080, yeah? And it still doesn't quite fit the screen though. It still doesn't fit the screen. You see what I mean? It still doesn't fit the screen. It's still too big for the screen. How do... What? Why can't you just have a thing that says, oh yeah, could you fill the screen? Are your OBS settings the same resolution? I don't know, but on this screen, it's bigger than the screen. No, I'm not changing the monitor resolution. That's insane. All right, I'll tell you what I can do. Hold the line. That's bloody music. Shut up, man. Shut up. Right. Here's what we're going to do. Alan, thank you so much for the sub. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to fix this. We're going to go here. 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 Go here. Go here. Go here. Go here. Go here. All right. I can make this work. I can make it work if you want me to. So what we're going to do... Boom. You just move it onto that screen, right? There we go, that fits. And then, if I do the audio, you should be able to... You can hear that. We want that down there. There we go. There we go. We got it, right? We're in. Okay, let's play a game. And I need my Xbox controller. Pat Pats. Go to the drawer of things. Is it in here? Hello, Mux. Hello, Lux. Hello, George. It's not dinner time yet. Ah, it's right in front of me. Hello, sweetheart. Right. Right now, how do I make this work? Oh, that's controlling the mouse. That's weird. Right? Casual. Going to go. All right, we're going to play. Boom. Let's turn that music down a little bit. That's a bit loud, right? Oh, there we go. Let's play. Your match is ready. Let's play. Let's play. Enemies can hear your footsteps when you run. Walking will make your footsteps silent. Buying new weapons at the beginning of each round with money earned. Okay. Friendly fire is off. It's a shame. Let's see what happens. Let's go. Let's play. Oh, I should change this. Oh, no, sorry. Who cares? Terrorists. The terrorist team is full. We'll go counter. Oh, look at this! That's not me playing. Okay, well... I don't know if I quite like... All right. Let's play. Hello, can you hear me? I'm going to vote for that, just to annoy people. Hello, can you hear me? I'm going to change my vote to that now. Can you hear me? They're all quite, okay. Chunky. Chunky terrorists. I'm quite hungry now. I'm not going to have sushi. I've had too much sushi. No more sushi. I haven't got to be up in the morning. When you're controlling a... Well, I do worry about Big Boy. I do wonder where he's got to. It's been about a week. Okay, where do I get a good gun from? Where did he get a good gun from? Where did he get a good gun from? Yeah, weak. Where did he get a good gun from? Where did he get a good gun from? Hey! Give me your gun. Where did he get a good gun from? Aha. Hello? Can you hear me? Well, I want that gun. A buy menu. How do I open the buy menu? It won't let me buy. Well, they've obviously bought stuff. I see my X button doesn't... Are these aren't configured correctly. Okay, well, I don't think this is configured correctly. I don't want to see that. Is that it? I'm out. I'm out. This is not as good as I was expecting it to be. We won't be playing this for very long. That's not me. So this must be deathmatch, right? You know these people have been playing this since this came out about 25 years ago.
Blue one is old asshole, except me.
Can you are asshole? Can you hear me?
People don't care one people.
Can you hear me?
People don't care one enemy.
Can you hear me?
Idiot. Don't play this game, okay?
Shut up.
Can you hear me?
Fuck you, fuck you.
Okay.
I put my dick into your mouth.
Okay, I will suck your dick. Can you hear me?
Shut up, okay?
Does that mean you can hear me? Just tell me if you can hear me and I'll shut up and I won't touch your dick.
You damn asshole, fuck you.
So you can hear me then? Can you hear me? What is going on? Open the buy menu. Oh. Okay. Okay. I haven't got any money. Whoa, no, I got money. I'm going to suck that guy's dick. Gonna get that. No. Gonna get that guy's dick. No. Fuck. He's gonna put his dick in my mouth again, isn't he? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I want one of those guns. You need to, Ian, you need to aim your gun at them while shooting. Okay, thank you for the tip, Paddy. I appreciate that, mate. I appreciate that. Cheeky little sausage. Now we got. No, don't. Hello, can anyone hear me? I'm in trouble here. Can anyone hear me? Oh, don't do that. We're going to stay here. Do I have to press anything to talk to them? Hello, can you hear me? This is I've not got an aim button. It won't let me aim. See, these people like to live up here, don't they? I killed someone. I killed someone! I'm OG. That sensitivity is hot. I killed someone. I'm OG. I'm Poggers. That's not me now. See, I can't aim. It wouldn't let me aim. What's my score? Oh, it's making me nauseous, that. Hello, Pat. Why didn't it let me buy anything? Huh? Oh, I gotcha. So they're like hanging up here, so. Oh. Am I in heaven? Oh, he's on outing. Sorry, dude. This is shit. This game's shit, right? Kick player. What? 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 What are you kicking me for? What? What the fudge? Yeah, good. Kick me. Well, now I'm in the fog. What is this? What'd you kick me for? Oh, you shot someone on your team. Team kills are off and I apologised. What would you vote? How do I vote to kick someone? I want to vote to kick someone. Let's vote. Oh, I've just shot my gun away. I want to vote to kick someone. Oh, left trigger. Left trigger. Left trigger. There we go. And vote to kick you. Report. Griefing. Submit. How do I vote to kick? How do I vote to kick? Thank you, it means, son. I was trying to vote to kick. How do I vote to kick? This game's boring. I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm going to go to bed. Well, that was going to be... Oh, I'm going to go and watch The Apprentice. I'm going to watch The Apprentice in bed because I haven't got to be up. How did you get out of this? Yeah, Big Boy's been missing a week. Which is worrying. What do you reckon? Choose a team, resume game, call vote. Call vote. Kick player. Let's vote to kick someone. This guy, look at this prick. He's going to get kicked! Oh my God, he's... Oh no! Come on, kick him. Not enough players. All right. How did I do that? So we're going to go here. Call a vote. Kick player. It won't... I bet it... Let's vote for this guy. Oh, you got to wait. All right. That game was shit. That was a waste of time. We'll do Team Fortress tomorrow. Oh, I look like Cranky Gamers. All right. We're done. Should we see if any of our people are streaming? I enjoyed that. Hey, there's 111 of you watching. There's none of our people. So what we're going to do... Here's what we're going to do. Let's go and find someone like we used to in the old days. Should we go and find someone? Do it like the old days. Tatty, please don't do that. Tell me where Big Boy is. Oh, abs and hips dance workout. Okay. Okay. I will not be getting Hogwarts Legacy. I don't really like video games. There we go. Now we're getting into our territory. Let's go and see someone with boobs. Let's go and find some boobs. Who's Cafe Chloe? I like the look of Cafe Chloe. Let's go and raid her. Guys, back tomorrow. Who's Sarah Daniels? Who's Sarah Daniels? How do I find Sarah Daniels?
Doesn't help for the things you think it helps for.
We're going to raid Sarah Daniels.
So, like, I am used to, like, having a really big open space in the back.
What's going on here?
But, like, when there's a fucking thing sticking down and they're like, okay, it's doing evenly.
All right. Back tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
I can't do it. So it was really bad. And then he's like, okay, so do not swallow. I'm going to go pretty far down your throat. So
What the fuck?
Just to make sure. I was like, okay. So he goes down, and I literally gripped him like this. He got to a certain spot, and I gripped him. He was like, are you okay?